Woi, halo woi. Selamat malam teman-teman semuanya yang ada di seluruh tempat. What's up, men? Kabar? Kira kita bisa buat party lagi ya, cuy.
First time we see these two teams go head to head.
Yeah, it's so strange just to think that they've never played each other because these are two teams that
Buset, Fatur. Banyak juga poin lu, Fatur.
been two of the absolute top squads.
Makan, Bang. Ini gua lapar banget sumpah. Tapi ada nggak kalian mau beliin gua makan, cuy?
Well, but
Gua lapar banget sumpah.
Downward trajectory throughout 22.
Tapi gua nggak tahu mau makan apa.
Yeah, I want to see what both of them think about this matchup as well. So let's send it over to Doug, who is standing by with Loud's less.
Hey, Les, very quick question for you here. You guys innovated Harbor Viper comps. You were the first to do it. You seemed so dominant on it, and then you moved away from it. But now you're back on it. Can you give me a little bit of insight into the decision-making process regarding that comp in particular?
Nunca trocou de composição. Essa composição a gente sempre teve muita confiança, porque a gente sempre teve muita dominância nela, né? A gente dominou o VST Américas com ela. Então a gente tem muita confiança.
Masih lama
nela.
ya.
Tutu é um ótimo Harbor e Cal é uma ótima Sky nesse mapa.
Overall, we have like a lot of confidence in this comp. We have like some very good results. Even back in BCT, we have a very big dominance in that. And Kawan and Two Ways, they perform very well with that.
Best of luck to you today.
Tenang aja, bos.
It's not just the Viper Harbor.
Gua akan menampilkan semuanya yang beda ya.
Team, Valen, they got the win. Finally, they're on the board. Do you feel like though this means that the champions of last year is back, them in top form again?
I think so, especially when I saw how well they were playing together. Also, when you kinda get these players, really is that one spark to kind of bring the team back together and have like the confidence together to win this whole thing.
Emang iya ini
I've been
hitam?
as a player before where I
Kata
have
siapa
that
ini hitam?
win, and it just sparked like a whole new level of energy within the team, and it really makes you believe that you can be back. But not only the energy and the confidence, but even in their play, they're peaking together. The Harbor Viper comp, they're flooding out perfectly using the comp to its
Emang kelihatan tuh.
so
Tuh.
I think with that, I can
Emang
confidently say
hitam?
that
Nggak kelihatan.
Yeah, in this match where they were playing the Harbor Viper, their retakes in particular were in peak form, always using either that Harbor Wall or Viper Wall to get out and then flooding together. The synergy that I feel like was lacking
Kelihatan nggak?
for so much of these
Warna apa?
last two events. Remember, it was a 3-match loss streak since they won VCT America.
Warna apa,
This is
cuy?
the first win they've picked up since, which is really unthinkable for a team the caliber of Loud. But we're
Move apa,
again
anjing?
seeing those things that defined Loud, the great
Navi
synergy,
atau Loud?
leading the way in composition,
Loud gua.
trying things that really work into their style. And I think absolutely that's going to be something to reinstill
Loud.
confidence and maybe make them a
Saya
contender
mendukung penuh
in
Loud
people's
menang.
minds for this tournament.
Yeah, it's such a great timing for them as well. But the good news for them is, of course, they faced one EMEA team already with the Viper Harbor comp. It was really,
Yang mau
really
bet manja,
successful.
cuy.
And for NAVI, they have never beaten the Viper Harbor comp internationally. It's always gone to OT, and they've always lost. And there's a reason for this, Mimi, because in EMEA, teams just don't play this comp. NAVI, they don't have the opportunity to practice against this.
I think for Loud, this is a really good stylistic matchup. We saw them absolutely dominate versus Team Liquid did this composition already. I think it's just such an impressive style that if you haven't scrimmed against it, I feel like it's really difficult to adapt if you're seeing it for the first time or second time, really.
Yeah, when you don't scrim against a company.
Loud, Lego, loud.
It is very hard because you're seeing things that you haven't seen in practice. The team is pulling out little gimmicks and little set
Siapa yang
plays
dukung
that
Loud,
we're really
adik-adik?
And it's one thing to try to mimic it in practice and maybe have like a practice squad try to help you against the comp because no one's running it, right? But even then, when you have such a good team like Loud, for example, playing this composition, you're going to face things that you've never seen before. So with that said, it's very hard for Navi to adapt to this, and I wonder what kind of their practice looked like going into this matchup, knowing that Loud is back on this composition.
Yeah, Angel's has his work cut out for him today, I feel like. We
sure.
heard from Les already with Doug, but I want to hear more about how he felt with a win over Team Liquid and today's matchup against Navi, so check this out.
Yang baru datang like manja dulu
A
ya.
Liquid é um time muito bom, é um time que ficou em
Makasih
top
ya,
1 do
teman-teman
SK
semuanya.
Meia.
Yang
Mas
berbaik
a gente foi
hati.
muito bem preparado, a gente queria muito essa vitória, né? Então acredito que a gente queria isso, não esperava isso, mas a gente queria isso. A gente tentou pensar, olha, como é o nosso último jogo, nosso ano foi muito bom. A gente tentou tirar a pressão, se a gente perdesse estava tudo bem, a gente ia pra casa, o nosso ano já foi bom. Se a gente ganhasse, maravilhoso, nosso ano ia continuar. A revenda deles, eu acho que eles não eram dos melhores mapas deles, muito por isso que a gente fez o pique. Eu acredito que a principal diferença só é que a gente conseguiu ter uma boa leitura e veio muito confiante, consertando os erros do jogo contra a DRX.
Nomor ya, nomor putih.
É um time muito bom, é um time de grande respeito, sabe? Então, é um time que tem individuais muito bons. O Suigetsu é um ótimo sentinela, o Andy One é um IGL diferenciado também, que tem ideias muito novas. O Shao, pô, não tem nem o que falar do Shao, sabe? É um grande jogador, foi provavelmente o destaque junto com o Suigetsu na Dinamarca. Então são jogadores com individuais muito fortes e que mesmo que não estejam na melhor fase deles, eles são muito bons, a gente tem que tomar muito cuidado. Mas a gente tá em eterno aprendizado, a gente não pode se considerar o melhor time, então tenham paciência com a gente tá sempre aprendendo.
Halo Elvin. Halo Albertus.
Who is widely regarded to be the best in his role, and Valen, he's going to be going up against the guy who's widely regarded as the second best in his role. Les versus Sogetsu is going to be great.
Yeah, no, this is a special treat matchup because they're both so well in their role and they have such unique play styles that you really can't replicate as other players. I would say Les is much more aggressive and he takes his aggressive timings, tries to bring the fight to the other team right away, and Sogetsu, he loves his Cypher, right? He's playing ratty, taking his frags, and they're both just so mechanically talented. When you watch them, you're like, how are they pulling
Diam lah Albertus ya.
support role like the Sentinel? They make it look like they're the star of the show.
Yeah, I think what defines Les is really his lurks when they play on this attacking side. The little gaps that he finds and how he manages to exploit that, and also helps it out, call the team around it. He's talked a lot about picking up the secondary IGLing role.
Lapar banget coy.
But Sugetsu, all I can think is just about his clutches in these late round situations that you're talking about. He's not
Mana
gonna
gua
be
tahu
able to
poin lu,
win
no.
less, but when he's last alive, when he's put in those positions, I feel like he wins them really more than anyone else.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's anything scarier than a Sugetsu and Shao.
Minum susu.
When they're the last two players alive, the round is never lost. But I do want to talk about Navi here because you both said that you believe with Loud's win against Liquid, they're back. But for me, I feel like Mimi, if Navi win today, then that's their chance to prove that they're also back.
I agree, and I already think that they are.
Lu jangan absen kalau mau ini.
Something like that.
They're backing.
Yeah,
They're on their way to come back.
sure. Navi made some
Yes.
improvements.
Kamu
heading
poin
into this event.
anteng lu di sini.
I actually felt like the DRX game we saw some
Indomie
good
sabi ya,
stuff
coy.
from them, right? In
Gua takut
particular, I
ngantuk
think
tapi.
there was some really good calling on the defensive side. They dealt with the with the Yoru combo
Sabi emang.
pretty well, but again, it was this close overtime loss that slipped away, and it's kind of continuing this trend for Navi, where they've only beaten their countrymen. They've only beaten EMEA teams since lock-in. It has been this big struggle internationally for Navi, where people have been really waiting to see when will this team fully be back to a form where they're contending for championships.
Yeah, and I think when you go through problems like losing to non-EMEA team, or sorry, only beating EMEA teams, losing to non-EMEA, it kind of shows a lack of, to me, a lack of kind of discipline when you're playing against other teams. You kind of stoop down to their level because Navi is known as a team that is very good in their fundamentals. You know, you have an IGL like Angel, but why is it when you play teams that maybe have a more loose style, they kind of play down to that level? I'm not really sure. So hopefully if they can figure that out, I'll consider that they're back.
Yeah, I feel like today is the day they're going to prove it, but
Yeah.
there's not
Weh, Panjul!
because Valen, I
Kung
think
saan
they're
Panjul?
prepared because
do.
Navi, they do bring some extremely great stuff, execute and so on that we need to be looking out for today.
Yeah, I would love to show the Telestrator. It was from the game versus Liquid here, round 17. First, I want to talk about Soigetsu. He has no utility left here, and that's because he threw his Viper Orb and he threw a Molly for Octi. So he's setting his team up. He's trying to make the round look the same. That's why he's throwing his Orb towards U-Haul. He's trying to cut off the line on short. So the other team has no idea what's happening while they set up this explosive play towards
Nggak
hookah.
tahu mau ngapain,
So what happens
Cok.
here is they have the double
Gue lagi
kills.
mendengarkan
They're being
analis ini.
creative with this hookah pop here. They have the Sky and the Brimstone taking long while the double dive come out. We see the satchels come out, the raise nade and the stun. If anyone's playing on site, they are dead. But that's only step one complete for Navi. So right now they understand they have the bomb
Halo,
down,
Dara.
and this is a huge swing round for both teams. Economy's low, alts are high for both teams, and they know they need more map control. So what's going to happen is Shao rips his Skyle, and they're going to fight for elbow control. But Liquid is also a great team, and they know that this is going to happen, so they trailblaze back into elbow. And you would think they have a Trailblazer and a Raze ult, but no, a little Rose ult happens. Zip in with 2 key frags, takes back elbow control. So it's just showing the proactiveness from both teams, right? They go into the bomb site, they get it for free, but the job is not done there. They still have more to take, and it shows
Gua
that they're
habis
just thinking ahead.
minum
And this is
susu, perut
credit,
gua
I think,
sakit
to
dah.
the whole team, but also Angel. Probably
Banyak
calling
sampah
the
kayaknya di perut gue ya.
And right here, the round is done, and they're going into save mode. So great round from Navi, kind of
Yeah.
showing the fast pace.
And it also shows, I think, that Navi have those good early ideas. They can run these more preset executes, lean into a little bit more structure at times, but there's still a squad that in these late rounds, when things go wrong, they have the individuals like Zipan in that round towards elbow that'll step up and find the right time to take a risk, to make a play. And I think Navi have found a better job of finding that balance.
Pasukan mana nih pasukan? Ah, sepi gindang nih
Can
pasukan.
they do that against Loud? That is the question. Of course, Loud, they are the reigning champions, but there is another world champion here in this matchup, and his name is CNED. He's standing by with Doug.
Sinet.
Hey, CNED, very quick question before you go in. When Loud was asked how they would deal with Navi and how they would deal with you specifically, they said, we're not worried about it. We have Aspas. What do you have to say to that?
We have Angel.
That's the flag.
We have who?
We have Angel, fair play, fair play. But I gotta mention this though, CNED versus Aspas, we're kind of getting into a...
Wang mana?
Seeing the
Au dah.
Turkish jet, the
Yan,
one on the
sebenarnya
right,
rame di
one
Discord cuy,
champion
tapi lagi pada main.
going up against the jet that everybody thought was the best last year.
Both these players
Jan.
defined an era. I think no one really
Lagi main.
CNED was the best duelist
Iya, ada
player
mau
of
selesai apa?
2021.
Nobar nggak kita?
Aspas proved
Nobar
himself in
lah.
2022.
Ente,
Yes,
oh,
maybe
nobar
that
muka,
discussion,
oh,
of course, but
konten.
these guys are
Riki ditinggal loh.
world champions facing off. But for both of them, it's now this question in 2023, in a new era, what are you as a player? The game has changed. The way you have to
Nobar,
play as a jet
iya
player
kan
has shifted
nanya
a lot
nobar
since
dia
both
tuh
these
mau
guys
nobar
had
apa
their
pulang?
peak. And I think
Tolol
for
lu,
both teams, they're trying to
Albertus.
recapture that.
Yeah, and I think something that's big
Gosi,
for
gosi,
both of these
gosi.
duelists is can they flex onto other roles
Ya,
besides Jet?
ya
Because,
lah,
like you said, now the game is a lot different. You're
Yes,
seeing a lot of
yes,
these
yes,
star,
yes.
Jet
Di
Di
players
sana udah
picking
siang di
up
mana?
the
Setang.
Raze. Sometimes we see Yoru out of CNED. So it
Ini
really
cakep
shows
banget
the
malam.
versatility,
Wah!
which I also think is a
Pelan apa
high
nih, Cok?
trait, like a
Napi
very good
laut.
trait for a duelist like this because
Let's
it shows
go,
that you can off
Napi.
agents. It helps out your IG
Laut.
when you can play
Ayo.
other agents. You don't have any crutches.
Napi.
But
Ayo,
it's
aku
hard to
laut.
point out
Ayo.
the differences
Aku
because they're just
Napi.
both
Laut.
such flashy star duelist players.
Kalah.
Yang dukung Napi, yang dukung Napi.
Kalah 5.000 Bitcoin.
Just who's 1%
Napi,
better
yo.
today.
Yeah.
5.000 Bitcoin langsung jual
But to
ginjal
your
sih
question
Ojan.
of flexibility, I think
Enggak,
both these
Bitcoin,
guys have
Bitcoin.
shown the
Hah?
ability to play a lot of different roles. But I
Gua
think
kira
it also
Bitcoin,
has been a
anjir.
weakness at times. For Loud in particular, when they were on this
Yo,
three-game loss
mantap
streak
Bang
from
Satan
Tokyo
Noob.
into the
Kita
early
dukung
stages of
Navi Bang ya.
champs,
Woi, Arye.
because they weren't having Aspas
Babi
play
tuh
Jet,
Arye
they were
ya.
forcing away
Muka
more.
tirek.
They were
Bagus,
trying
bagus.
to adapt,
Navi,
but it
Navi.
wasn't working. Sometimes there is just a style that fits your
Gua
players,
ngebet dulu
fits
lagi.
your team best. And I do like it
Oh,
more when
you
Aspas is
make
playing
me
the Jet or
confused, huh?
sometimes the Raze versus the
Panjul, quotes hari ini apa Panjul?
He's been playing on quite a few maps
Gua
that
butuh Panjul nih.
has fit them
Quotes
super
hari ini
well.
apa?
Whereas on the other hand for Navi, I think
Nan-
they've always
nan
been
bocor lah suara kami
defined
di
by their
mainan.
flexibility, and
Emang
CNED
apa?
I think has actually done a really good
Mungkin
job
berisik kali,
of being
aku
that
mau
more
toxic
flexible
dah.
player, especially on
Toxic
the
aja
roles
gua.
like the
Gak ada yang
Sage,
peduli sama gua dah.
Yoru, whatever it may be.
Discord kan di silent.
Let's not forget the overall.
Discord kan di silent
Honestly,
lagi.
for me,
Kagak
I
orang
agree with
tuh
both of you,
bocor.
but I'm selfish and I want to see Aspas
Ya,
Jet
dia
versus
pantas
CNED Jet.
nggak
We've
toxic.
never heard it before, and if I
Tapi
don't get
timnya
that today,
enak,
I'm gonna
jadi
be
nggak
really, really
apa-apa.
sad.
Yo, yang bet. Wah,
For the
orang-orang
result of
judi
our
semua nih,
Mastercard
setan.
Oh,
fan
si
poll
Jetnya
earlier.
ngepick
We
ya
asked
di
you guys
garage.
to vote
Aman
who's the
aja,
best
udah
follow
mati.
on social media, and Chet
Orang judi tapi
didn't
kok
win.
bikin
Last
judi
place?
anjing.
What?
Who's
Di
Jet
Windows, Jan.
again?
That's preposterous.
Who's that guy? I only know Boaster. That's the guy
Gotta
like
search
has
him
funny
up.
walkouts.
Who's the
right?
best to follow
I
on
mean,
social
compared
media?
to
Huh?
Chet, his social media game is
Oh,
Halo Azhar.
in my
Zombie.
opinion.
Those are the spicy takes. Chet has the spicy takes. Boaster's like the upbeat, like happy, like, oh, look at that post. We love that. You know what I mean? There's the differences
Itu
there.
He's a happy guy. Chet, not that happy on Twitter.
Itu bandarnya. Yang bandar tuh Streamlab tuh, netbot. Gua mah kagak ngapa-ngapain.
Pay you $100 if he becomes wholesome and
I'm
happy.
gonna pay him $50.
Nah, Panjul lu.
I can take the,
Itu baru Panjul, cuy.
That voids the
Laut ya.
Hey,
Yang
we should
Navi
on it,
udah
we
pasti
should on it.
turu ya.
But I'm gonna give you
Apa
guys
tadi aku
an
liat
even
orang
more
mana ya?
difficult task
Tuh
than
kan,
it is
ih.
Boaster Chet
Yang
and
Navi
Pump
turu
Up,
deh,
and
ya.
that is
Ganti,
who
ganti.
is going through
50-50.
today. Do you think Loud
Yes,
are
Recon.
gonna make
Yes.
another run, players, or Navi?
Laut dong ya. Biasanya tuh yang pilih Navi Iron lah.
It's gonna be a close game, but with
Let's
players
go,
like
Navi.
Ospas, I think they're gonna be able to take them over the edge.
Ih, so
especially
good, ah.
with the experience, man.
Navi win, Navi win.
Biasanya
And I'm gonna have to go with Loud.
bronze Iron tuh kalau yang
For me,
Navi.
I think it also
Navi
is
win,
Loud
Navi win.
favorite.
Di
Biasanya
sini
itu
ki-
kumulot
That they
tuh,
showed
nanti
versus
lanjut
Team
KW
Liquid
guys.
was excellent. Some of the
Kita
key
tuh
players
obrigado,
hitting
Omar
just haven't seen
uno.
it from Navi, but also if
Laut,
there was ever
ya.
a match to do it, they're so good in these
Navi,
low
Navi.
Enggak, telat denda ya 50.000, tai lu.
international events. So I do think it'll be a very close game.
Ini nggak mungkin turun besoknya kebab tutup jadi nggak mikirin kebab. Oke.
What we feeling for that one?
I think Foot should be
Libur
very
libur
good.
kebabnya.
They were great in their first match versus T1.
Yang bet Navi kagak ngerti seluk-beluk Valo.
Still lean Foot there.
I have to agree. Although I love
Lu emang GG, Panjul. Quotes hari ini dong.
The better team when they played last time, and going into the rematch,
Malam Galang.
see the same thing.
Oh, you guys, you're giving me hope. You're giving me hope. But we got to get through the first matchup first. And also, of course, like I said, it is a very, very important day because you are either going through or you are going home. There is no in between.
Obrigado, ayayaho. Itu PB setan.
Today,
jam
and
11.
like I said, 4 teams will be going through. They're going to be trying to make their breakout here. It is Navi versus Loud, Foot
I'm low,
versus
I'm sorry.
T1. It's do or
Easy,
die.
nah.
And time to kick off day 7 of Valorant Champions.
Yeah.
Ini dia, coy. Ini dia paling GG. Navi punya simple, yang juara G2 bukan Navi. Biar daftar official seperti nggak tahu tuh. Iya, Sinet kalau pulang ini dagang es krim Turki deh. Bukan ke
Kau
rumah.
nonton ini kan kau nonton si Kangkang Dun lagi main cok. Nih di Discord.
Aduh. Kangkung ah.
Kangkang Tila. Yeah, easy nah.
Kapan main di champion? Doain aja ya Don Hawk ya. Itu apa maksudnya one more? Wah, agent baru kan?
T1'la ilk karşılaşmamızda maç tamamen beklediğimiz gibi geçti. Onun tarzlarını anladık takım olarak.
Bingung sekali.
Daha hırslı geleceğiz.
Oke,
ve daha
gitu harus
sinirli
kemana?
geleceğiz, kesinlikle.
Harus lari dari kenyataan.
Udah sering.
Jadi join tim mana? Kagak, gue di
Lari
apart
aja.
doang diam gitu.
Anjay.
Baru gua mau bilang lari ke pelukannya Ojan.
Betul
sekali ya. Karena pelukanku begitu.
Amin ya Don Hawk ya.
Anjay.
Thank you ya doanya, kamu baik deh. Mudah-mudahan kamu masuk surga ya.
Amin.
Amin.
Kalau lu main di champion sambil watch party tim lu sendiri Sabi. Terus gue gimana mainnya setang?
Semoga kamu lulus menjadi anaknya.
Onlardan
Yoksa
yani
kematian.
olmak zorundayım. O yüzden
Wah, dikandangin Ki sama
Amin Don Hawk. Kamu GG ya.
Jan.
Tapi aku ikut nyusul ke surga tapi ya Don Hawk ya.
jago lah waktu ya.
Jan.
Kalau cinta itu bukan dari kata-kata Jan, tapi dari perlakuan.
Oh, langsung OTW JKT for take. Yes, sadap pakap.
Sinceramente, eu tô muito ansioso por esse jogo. A gente nunca enfrentou eles.
Obrigado.
Acabou caindo na Dinamarca.
Obrigado.
E eles foram campeões.
Kapan lagi watch party sama main? Gak bisa kocak gak fokus.
Jan namun.
Yeah, Lego. Jangan ngopi, jangan ngopi, jangan.
Aku di sini aja.
Eu sei que a galera
Ah,
tem muita
what?
expectativa sobre a gente, eu sei que a galera quer muito o Brasil.
Dalam
Correct.
You lucky.
Welcome back.
I'm not lucky. I was Reina. I carried the team.
Piala Presiden nggak tahu dah itu gua off season itu.
Tá sempre aprendendo e a gente também quer
Congrats.
levantar o troféu com vocês.
Yes, thank you.
Now you back to your rank.
Yeah, I was plat 3.
Oh, it's okay, nah. One rank again.
Yeah.
Oh.
Nggak ada Don Hawk. Don Hawk mau kasih kerjaan. Boleh.
Wah.
Okay, see you later, movies. I'm so tired.
So for the remaining
Okay,
matches
see you
today
later,
and tomorrow, the
Fred.
seeding
Bye-bye.
changes just a little
Have a
bit.
good
So a team coming
night.
from upper or
BP sama
lower
siapa?
is actually gonna be the
Ini
higher seed
sendiri.
regardless of prior
See
seeds.
you in my
So in
room,
this match,
okay?
there's going to be
Okay. Stupid.
Team A. So Navi will be Team A, Loud you will be Team B. So we'll start with your first band.
Wah, parah. Aku udah di
Haven?
booking kita malah
Your
diajak
band?
kompetisi. Ya gimana kita?
Fracture.
Balikin dua
And
aja
match
kali ya.
number 1 from Navi.
Apa?
Gak jadi lah.
Side on
Keluar
Pearl.
aja anjir.
Attack.
Orang
Kita kan
mulu
denger
dah
ya?
anjing. Itu siapa?
Ascent.
Temen gua.
Side on Ascent.
Apa, Jan? Sumpah mode budak ini.
Defense. Okay, next set of bands starting with Navi, you have Bind, Lotus, and Split.
Ya, Lotus.
Band Lotus, you have Bind and Split.
Wow.
They ban
So
Split,
easy,
map number
man.
3 will be Bind,
So good, ah.
Navi side on Bind.
Niki siapa? Ada Niki Padlin. Dompet.
Defense? Okay, we'll run through this, make sure we're all set.
Oh, akhirnya bisa tidur nyenyak.
Kita tidur.
Okay, so
Oke, kita main
let's run through this. I appreciate it.
Rehat sih
So
sampai
for
sama
first set of
depan
bands,
PC.
Tuh
you
kalau
have
lama-lama
Loud
mirip
with
Rusman.
Fracture.
Tai dia ya.
Map number 1 is
Baringan.
Pearl
Disamain
with
sama
Attack.
Beruk.
Map
Iya.
number 2 is a set
Baringan
with
ya,
Navi on
ntar video
defense.
call.
Next set of bands are Lotus and Split. Map 3 decider is Bind with Navi on defense.
Iya, orang mau
Alright,
nemenin.
good luck to you both.
Kota Nitro.
Gak sepi.
Good luck. Navi, go home. Ah, sah aja lu Don Hawk.
Oh,
Lu nongkrong dulu.
Navi, let's go, Navi.
Nongkrong dulu Don Hawk. Nanti dapat poin itu. Sabar ya.
Navi nih.
Ah, biasanya yang entry duluan kalah. Yang masuk duluan kalah biasanya. Kemarin Paperex, Fanatik yang kedua soalnya.
Bahan.
Mana rebahan kan?
Iya.
Ah, ini dia. Obrigado.
Video TikTok pakai HP.
Oh my
Okay, yes.
god.
Ya.
Thank you.
Ya.
Just one best of 3 is standing in the way of playoffs, but there could only be one for the other between
Yang bet manja bet ya. Kalau nggak bet
breaks by the end of
di ini cuy. Ditusuk panas cuy.
games in all of these players' lives.
It absolutely could. Both these teams have lifted trophies on a global
Tuh,
stage.
lagi ngasih kata-kata tuh.
Champions, they have the pressure of the Brazilian
Masih nol bang, aduh Don Hawk gimana ini Don Hawk?
match loss streak up until this lower bracket.
GG
But they
Don Hawk.
looked renewed in their game versus
Padahal mau
Liquid.
maksuin
And the question for
babi
them
lu
is
tuh ya.
whether they can carry that through the rest of the tournament, or a Navi who's also struggled this year will find the
Bisa
right
ya,
moment to
wah.
peak as well.
Yeah, and all that also starts with a map, vetoes to Pearl, Ascent, Bind. Valen, I'm not surprised with the picks, but I am a little bit surprised with which team
Which teams picked them?
which
No,
map.
me too.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
we saw Navi pick Pearl and Loud.
Udah tuh,
pick
Don
Ascent.
Hawk.
You would definitely
Ay.
expect that to be flipped. But I'm very excited to see Bind.
Buruan, Don Hawk.
Personally, I'm hoping it goes all 3. We're in for an absolute banger.
Navi tim apaan mending RQ ada telah benar.
Kind of comment on
Navi ketemu RQ juga rontok nih Navi.
they're both international winners, so I don't
Navi
think
bro,
both
menang
teams
bro.
Nggak mungkin.
Let's go Zip.
Loud nih, Loud nih. Ah, the Jack.
Wow, starting off with Pearl.
Aspas turu deh, Aspas.
Kau lihat tuh dia udah bawa boneka sampah dia tuh.
Aduh, Aspas boneka.
Tak, 1, 2, 3, obrigado.
So excited to see. I want to get in the match as soon as possible.
Yeah, me as well here.
Kemarin jago banget si
Number
Aspas,
one,
gua tonton
the
deh.
big question
Ada.
is what
Oke.
is Loud's identity now?
Gendong-gendong
Could
dia
they
sendirian.
find Harbor Viper? This was the
Dia
first
doain gua Don Hawk.
time that
Lu.
everyone played it. They were
Wah, Don
always
Hawk
after
anjing juga lu
Pearl.
bet
They've lost
Navi ya.
games recently. People still started to figure them out a little bit, but it's now
LA di Korea kamu
quite a
kacau.
while
Hah?
since
LA
we've
di
seen
Korea
them on
gimana
this map,
cerita
and
itu?
pretty much everyone else since the Pearl changes have started to move
LA di
away from
Korea.
Harbor Viper. And so the question is, does Loud stick to the meta they defined, or will they continue to try and find something new?
Yeah, and the new thing I think is double initiator. A lot of Sova,
Which Navi plays.
Right.
Udah pasti menang ini.
Plays that comp, and at least from my
Navi nggak pernah menang lawan Loud, nggak pernah menang.
So it's exciting to see them kind of go back to their
Track recordnya bayangin tuh, saking idiotnya.
ready, and let's get right into it.
Biasanya bronze lah yang dukung Navi.
Let's go Navi.
Yang main di silver kalah tuh yang dukung Navi tuh.
Let's go Navi.
Yang main di silver ngomel-ngomel.
This is another shot for Loud. They get a surprising comp on a set just the other
Wow.
day. They're cooking something new up.
Ini baru GG cuy. Gak pakai Viper lagi cuy.
Are going to be extremity control. You have a breach stun, you have a breach flash that you can combine with your Fade Haunt as well. And it also gives you more powerful retakes. But this is a very different approach than what most other teams are doing. No one really plays breach on this map, Valen.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how they're going to deal with B long control here, just using the fade. Also the breach to help, but oftentimes teams are using like KO.
Mengacaulah aja tim channel kebanggaanmu diwanti-wanti sama om umur 30. Lu lihat tuh, Aspas pas dia tahu, aduh lawannya Navi tidur dulu kali bisa ini mah. Aspas kayak gitu cuy. Perlu dia warm up lawan Navi.
This is also Tui switching over to Aster as the solo controller. That's a lot easier to do now with the B-long changes here, and yeah, Loud pretty quiet as of late, looking to get that energy back in the mix for them. But this agent, it's a lot easier to anchor now when you're playing on that Astra, and it will always be strong when you're playing into the retakes. You can be using the stocks on the Astra, the stun as well. Really, my biggest question
nonton energi nonton.
is trying to find
Tapi
the new
nggak
identity, the
stream
right
aja.
call, or if they overcook things in their elimination match.
Well, the stage is set, the players are ready, and all that's left to do is send it over to your casters for this one. Give a warm welcome to Doug and Balla.
Thank you so much, Jinsu. Balla, I mean, this
Balla, bello.
on paper, you think about the run that they've had getting up until this point, it could be really good.
Oke, tutup ya manis.
So many champions in this one. This is the conclusion of Group D. And we're not getting the Pearl that we thought we were from Loud. This composition is such a shift, and they've instantly taken Street.
Seems like they're going to split that way. The Haunt's already been cleared, and they're just
Tuh, lihat nih.
really aggressive up link.
Tuh, Aspas sudah bunuh. Aspas bunuh.
CNET tucked, able to get two in an excellent response.
Oh,
Not
Sinet
caring
bunuh.
at all about the
Dead.
util that Navi hit him with.
Bro,
The
dead.
dart getting down B long and that knife suppressing.
T1 lawan FUT gue nggak nonton cuy. Sampah tuh.
And unfortunately for them,
Nggak,
no more players.
mending turu deh.
It's going to be tough to get back in when the spike's on site.
Lihat aja ini.
Les is playing pretty far
Twist.
back. They've got the spike surrounded. Tui's is going to have to make a move, or maybe just buy some time for Les to reposition.
Yeah, but he can't get caught when the
Dia
smoke
absen
falls.
sama mas-mas es krim Turki parah lu.
A delicate dance for the controller for Loud. Has to stay alive.
Takut deh, takut ngepick deh.
And do so without losing
Nggak
his
punya
life
aim.
in the process.
Lihat nih, one tap nih.
30 seconds left.
Les now has arrived. 30 seconds left. The first swing is going to be a little bit of a tag, but not much more. Les falls to his left.
Nggak apa-apa, masih pistoron.
As the pistol goes to
Oh,
Navi.
mantap.
Masih pistoron.
Waiting for the flank just for it to get ripped apart by Sugetsu.
Masih pistoron. Pur dulu.
Of CNET against the Brazilians. The 2021 champion versus the 2022 champions as well. He just ripped them to shreds there. And I think this is what I really like about Navi's Pearl is it gets CNET activated so easily on this jet roll.
Lihat nih, Aspas nih.
No concerns about what he's
Ratain
going to
nih.
play. Is he going to be able to float something else? Is he going to have the raise that's capable to actually challenge? No. Pearl, this is CNET's play.
Kena 4. Cuek.
Lots of info off that knife to open the round.
That's
for
the second
Zipon.
time, too. The first one, they got 3 suppressed inside of Street. Here 4 at the beginning, but they did get
Lihat
that
nih,
orb at least.
Zipan mati nih.
Navi played that too. The information that they got on A allows them to take so much space down B long. They just grabbed the orb down B long. They've taken all that space. They've left
Nah,
CNET here.
pendukung Navi jangan mimpi ya.
It's very nicely handled.
The tug of war between the macro games of these two teams so far, actually
Let's
very
go,
interesting.
Navi.
You're right. 1 for 1 on the
Pulangkan
orbs.
adik-adik ini Navi.
Loud know they don't have that space, so they have to go recommit towards the A side. Another split.
Here the flash pop.
Nembak apa sih, Dek? Dek. Aduh.
Power and numbers for Loud.
Turu, Dek. Nggak ngerti cara nembak.
Question is how much more can they find?
Iron sih pendukungnya.
Playing backside. Courtesy of Zipan and
Aduh, Dek.
Through off the seas is really nice.
Aduh, Dek.
Something on our hands here,
Cukup
folks.
banget. Pakai pistol rata ya.
And you remember, you go back to
Mau menang
they were
mimpi.
the ones who were opportunistic in their space gathering.
Yeah, and with the way that
Mimpi.
Navi like to buy,
Mau menang.
maybe considering a
Mau
save
menang.
because the Angel and
Ah,
Sugetsu save
tutor aim di laut, Dek.
attempt at the anti.
Kalau tutor turu di Navi.
With a Vandal too. Yeah,
Mas iya saving.
Angel's gonna keep this
Saving.
Bulldog, pick it up.
1-0 kok saving.
Still gonna result in a good buy, but Loud just rip
Nggak
apart.
ngerti cara main nih.
It's anti-eco.
And they did so with
Emang
nothing but
kalau
Marshall, the
Iron
Xbox
nih.
I mean, he didn't really do a ton of it. Maybe a little bit of damage, but yeah, it was all the pistols.
Nah jadi bang, aku mau dukung Lord aja, bisa reset bednya nggak bang Aco? Diam lu, muka tirek bangsat. Hah? Turu deh, ya. Auto hang hot nih.
Not gonna find it, but still getting the Bulldog down is pretty important. That would have been a dropped weapon for somebody else.
Kita di sini auto hang hot ya.
Look at these shots from Les. He's full blind.
Oh.
The Seas gets a connection.
Lihat.
And he gets
That second shot was so nice.
What a monster. And that's the guy from if I'm
Brigado.
Form Loud is gonna have on this map. I'm looking at Les. He's plays such a critical role now, especially since you're not running the double controller. You're not running Harbor Viper.
System manager itu.
He's almost the sole lurker with Tui's too.
They can try to regress and take this fight a little bit to
Gila, udah ketahuan rame deh. Pulang.
beginning of the round, it's a barriers drop. Angel's Guardian cleans up Sada.
Oke.
That's ridiculous. Again, 2 players saved here from NAVI, by the way. So they have worse weaponry in this round, for sure. And the interesting thing there is they're going for a reclear. Normally they do that with Angel's drone.
Spike down A.
And he's just using the Guardian to take them all down instead.
We're about to have one of those vintage Angel games where he just pops off.
Boy, I hope so. Look at Les. He just got through A main to clear art, which allows them to get on this site. But Zipan, is he aware of this angle? He is, but not aware enough. A little bit of a whiff shot there.
Angel with the dart, nothing tagged. Les playing very cautiously beneath it. That's going to be a kill on Shao. Les is still very weak. And while Loud are making a run at this, there's still so much work that has to be done. Yeah, and it just went from bad to worse. Tui's is going to have to 1v3 if they want to pull this off, and it just got a little bit more difficult. That crossfire, the spam, it's too much to deal with.
After 3 rounds, does it kind of feel like everybody's playing by themselves?
Yeah, a little bit.
Might be because these first kills come in so fast from Angel, but for Loud there, I mean, obviously losing Sadak early kind of takes away from the punch you're going to have to execute on the site, but what a response from Navi, and again, thinking back to saving that one Vandal, thinking back to the buy that they do, they instantly respond, and it's put Loud on a really terrible position economically. Just one Vandal, hero bot from Aspas. They got the lockdown, and that's what they're going to try to favor. CNED's in a position on top. Gets away from the stun, and now he can go up.
With Killjoy utility and CNED
Anjing nih tukang kebab babi.
Look at that too. That's a dart going up. Even if CNED doesn't peek on the right timing there, you have a player looking backwards to break that dart while he peeks. Nice combination. With just one dart, making sure you're doing something off of it. That's Navi on Pearl to a T.
Sonic picked up the Vandal, and he's playing from further back. Tui's getting one with the Sheriff.
Les can get activated too. I mean, he was the hero in the last
Nembak
one.
apa tuh?
The intention was
Iron.
Lockdown down on B.
I mean, if Les plays his cards right here, he should be able to grab the weapon that was dropped by Sugetsu. I thought they were going to try to control it a little bit more. Angel was posted up on it, and you see the rotation through.
Real kayak itu cuy tembakan.
In on the space, and Les really doesn't have a way to get in to grab that weapon.
What's the intention here, though, from Loud? Because they go throw the stun over here, 30 seconds. Tui's is on the other side of the map. I'm confused very confused on what the intention here is. Tui is maybe a late flank if they get the site, but they've got to get the site first.
Yeah, that's a really big if.
Ikut lagi kayak ini.
They're going to have to do so in the face of 4 Navi members who have full weaponry. Paladin has already fallen, 14 seconds left. They've got to commit to getting the spike down very soon. Shao with the spam, not landing. But it's going to be enough to reposition. I don't think they're going to get the spike down, not at this rate. Sonic's got to commit, and he can't. The pressure from Angel was just too much. And there's just not going to be enough time.
Miskinin. Aduh.
What a chaotic round.
And again,
chaotic round.
Felt like multiple ideas where everybody's trying to implement their own say. Les was in the middle of the map for so long too, while Sonic was calling that.
Bocil Navi turu deh ya.
And that might have been where the time issues stemmed.
Biasanya dukun Navi lemah.
Not a great start from Loud, despite having players who look to be on form. Even Sonic in that one.
Let's go Navi. Bocil Navi
Very
sambil
nice
melek.
attempt.
Iya,
lemah. Now they have 2 key ults. I would love to see what the ideas are when they start getting these ults to layer up, because this breach is very unique on this map.
Oh, I thought
tingkat Banjul.
That out for Aspas, but at the very last
banyak nih bocil-bocil Navi nih.
The fact that he's even considering it as an option is pretty interesting, given he opted 1 time in Masters Tokyo over 2 series.
You see the setup for Navi defensively. They're concerned with what's happening mid.
Kena ya. Aduh. Dek. Slip dek ya.
Jeez, what a brutal opener.
Yeah, that's huge.
Picinet, Kang Kebab. Gitu dong, bunuh. Biar adil, 4 lawan 3. Ayo, setor nyawa biar adil, biar gak malu.
Trying to get through, make sure there's nobody fighting sewers. That's why Counting is waiting for Les here to regroup with Aspas. But they're going to choose to go into CNED.
But it's just CNED. And it's just CNED with 45 HP. No armor.
CNED. Dagang kebab aja dah.
On the minimap, aware of what the gaps are in this ult.
He does have a molly. Les does, so does he have a lineup for it? I don't think so.
I mean, you see they're even freezing on this. Wait, they're just going to peek into this? 2 Cloudbursts out.
Ngapain? Panik.
Survived as long as he has. Is massive
Aduh.
because he continues.
Aduh, panik.
They're so scared. Plant's still not down, Doug.
CNED's going to be able to feast if they continue.
Panik.
Finally cleans him up.
Turret dulu,
Numbers in favor of Loud, although less weak. Just 5 HP.
Taruh turretnya manis.
But the spike planted, you see if there's any utility.
Nah, easy kill. Easy kill, itu baru tembakan. Headshot. Sugetsu nembak pintu. Orang di mana pintu ditembak.
But it pays off. Ultimately, not enough players for Navi to deal.
Caca mending Loud aja deh. Mau sama buaya-buaya. Buaya-buaya bisa dukung Navi.
What a swing round to win.
Let's go Navi.
Look at the plant position. It's crazy that they end up planning there where he's kind of open to players from spawn. But he's protected against CNED, and they don't choose to try to flush him out after that lockdown. Those early picks paid huge dividends down the line. And we might get early picks again.
Oh,
down
what a
hard.
trap!
There's the dash.
Oh,
the flash and the haunt.
Spike down mid.
Both jets activated knives and dashed into mid. And we
nah gitu Caca Loud.
Behind in this one, despite getting the first kill.
That was so mad.
Apa lu dapet itu tai?
Hopefully we get a good look at that one more time because that was just so fast. But through the quiet scene, it still has his blades. Aspas not nearly as fortunate. Rolling Thunder online for Loud still.
They have to start being able to get success with these dry walks, and
oh, that's not the success they were looking for.
That's not the way to do it, no.
And that's another instance in which Sadak dies with the Rolling Thunder. Mind you, they haven't really had the opportunity to execute with it, but
the dart for the spam. Oh my goodness, Tui's in trouble there.
Instantly cleared. Sugetsu hasn't, however. He's still playing backside. Now understanding some of the presence. Angel with the Fury. Not gonna tag on anyone, but it was enough to bait it out.
Itu mau kemana ultinya?
Now where do they go from here? Ults, or excuse me, Spike still in the hands of Les.
Mau ke sungai itu ulti.
I mean, you're pushing into this 4-player defense. Well, 3 now.
Still haven't planted.
And there's still so much to do. I mean, Tui swings into a high-low that you wouldn't be expecting in a situation like that, and it's so miserable to deal with. Les, you've been good, but man, the blades from CNED are just too much.
That's just crazy there, too. I mean, the cautious approach from both teams. You saw it there again in that last round. Nobody from Navi peeking after they get the advantage, and Loud holding on for so long to make something out of that round. This early engagement is just ridiculous.
What a mess of an opener.
The fact that Sadak doesn't stun until after that
Gitu dong like-nya manis.
CNED push comes through is quite confusing given Auspas dashed on the line.
Just a share for Sadak. Kawanzin and the aforementioned both with ult still.
They're
And
aggroing
Navi
again.
Yep, and continuing to do so down mid of all places. Aspas is here though. But it seems like Navi are taking a step back.
Mau berdoa buat
This
Aspas
is a
lah.
complete read. Look, 5 stacking from Navi. That's why they're backing off right now. Realizing they have so much space on this A side. And CNED will scramble back towards the B. I think that was definitely a miscalculation. At the beginning of the round, an Angel versus Aspas. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, we're having one of those Angel games, man.
We definitely are.
Holy
8-4.
shit, Tala. Si Aspas.
It's just crazy.
Aspazin gimana nih?
Years and all that stuff. Angel seems to be in really good form right now. 85 HP, Bishop for another is finally, he gets it.
Mati tuh ya.
And that's ahead of the stun there from Kawanzin again. He's peeking past double doors before Sadak deploys the fault line.
So once again, a lot of pressure and a lot of ask on the shoulders of Les.
That's good for him to have broken that molly
Hanya di-clearin
before the rest of his team got here. Are they going to breach hold? Are they
Quick,
going to do anything to get on this? Look, Navi's playing so far back, it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, and in a 3v4 where Tui's has 5 HP.
They're going to use the wall too, but not blocking out Flowers, so they are spammable here. 15 seconds.
Gravity well the back, they dump some of that
Aduh,
util.
sakit
Les
bener
just
tuh.
so much damage from one shock dart, man. Where do they go from here? How do Navi find a way out from this? As it seems like Angel's going to be the late lurk. But Les is ready for it. Angel's just quicker on the draw. 3 on the round for him. And surely if you're Loud, you cut your losses. You don't continue into this.
They have breach hold. They're going to use it. Looks like maybe off the stun, maybe off a kill.
This is just so difficult to deal with. And yeah, Angel
Oh,
of course,
shit.
last.
Oh shit.
Most of these rounds,
Kucing nggak mau dukung orang
especially
sih.
when Navi get a slight advantage or
Udah
it
amat lah siapa yang menang.
becomes, it's even throughout the mid round. Navi is always so careful to continue to close out these rounds.
What the fuck,
And I
Caca?
think Loud needed timeout because
Gampang banget terpengaruh bocil-bocil Iron.
this is to me looking dire. The amount of missed peaks, mistimed pieces of utility.
Kecewa Caca udah.
It's not going to be
Udah
sustainable
nggak
against Navi,
member.
who are punishing you for those mistakes as well.
Dukung
Yeah,
Navi.
they seem to be in really good form.
Ada Thompson tuh cuy.
Right, a timeout comes through for Loud. I mean, Angel is just diffing them almost by himself in a lot of ways right now. I think about that previous
tahu
round.
deh,
He gets 3
mungkin
kills in
iya
isolated 1v1s against stars on the other side.
For the oldest player in the tournament too, the guy is 33 years old. Doing it against the best player in the world potentially last year, Aspas. These guys won last year, they won this tournament.
Mantap cuy.
And here
Apa
they
yang bisa
are
diminum ya?
on what should have been considered one of their best maps after the Americas League. We all thought it was, and they just completely abandoned their identity. Trying hard to cling to something new. And I think in that opening match that we saw from Loud
Kok nggak kelihatan
against
biru-biru?
DRX,
Namanya
when they
juga
played some of these
Midnight
breach
Blue.
comps on other maps, we had not the most clean picture of
Apaan
what that
aja.
might look like in the future.
Do they invest these ults, the ones that they've been holding on to for so long? And what else do Loud do on the other side of this timeout?
Aman cuy, ini udah time out biasanya GG.
So gets you waiting to see if there's a dumpy utility. That's a second Prowler they just used to clear out, and I don't know that they've really gotten very much space with it at all.
Yeah, but Sugetsu's alone, so if they continue to follow up on this, he's
Sugetsu
gonna have to
ketahuan.
put out a
Flash,
multi-kill with
flash.
nothing.
Sugetsu.
Aduh.
Where's the trade?
Easy enough. That aftershock is going to help. What? Oh, the gravity wall is the only thing that stopped him from getting a third.
But again, people peeking ahead. They had that aftershock prep the entire time.
Oh, ada yang
Tui's and
nge-pick
Sadak literally util out, so when I asked where's the trade, it's not coming. But yet they're still peeking.
Angel with a glowing Vandal looking to add on to it, and he does.
Gokil anjing, Angel.
Absolutely a flat start here from Loud out of what is a very expected matchup, one we haven't seen from two teams who have had so much success internationally, even this year. At lock-in, Loud, runner-up, NAVI, third, fourth place. And here we are, an elimination game, the first time we see these two teams playing, and NAVI feel like they're running away with it.
Kayaknya pada kangen rumah dah nih.
Different expectations. And
Mau pulang aja katanya.
it's a game that is often decided by form on the day. And right now it just seems like Loud are still in bed, man.
Ah.
Other than Les. Les really seems to be the only bright spot in an otherwise
Ada pool manja.
brutal start for Loud.
That's interesting too, because yeah, they're getting rounds because of the heroics.
Yep.
And love this.
Nambabin nggak bisa kocak.
Just closing this out
Harus
very
game baru.
easily, putting the Cosmic Divide up, checking exactly what he's going to do, waiting for that pull to come out. He could play off this very well, though.
Is he going to 1v2 this? Take it
Oi.
around.
Insta thread
There's
anjing
not quite enough
pala.
time for him to really make anything of it.
Yeah.
Even if he gets one, in most instances, you start to be able to play with the time, but there, no, you got to take them both down. So much for Shao to work with.
Dude, this 2K by Sugetsu is just dumb.
It shouldn't happen.
No, especially that kill on a Kawanzin.
Granted, it was a nasty shot. And Angel's still frying as well, but yeah, when you come into this with an idea, with this breach, with this fade, it's definitely new. You're trying to catch him off guard with some of these Uto combos, and Loud is just not achieving that.
Yeah.
Navi.
Timing just seems a little bit disjointed. Meanwhile, for Navi, they're doing everything correctly.
Starting to have so many tools too to deal with some of these situations that Loud is putting them in. If they're going to play slow, I mean, these retake ults are massive. This lockdown, the Hunter's Fury from Angel, it's brutal. Sonic still hasn't used his breach ult. He's had it since like round 5 or so.
Yeah, Kawanzin has had his since like 6 or
Anjir,
7.
5
and
aja.
He's been holding on to that one for a little while too.
They're not even on site.
Invested, and it's going to be in a round where Sadak has only a Sheriff. Yeah, there are a couple of other guns flanking it and surrounding it, but it's used to get onto site. There's no counter
Waduh,
to
Sadak
Sadak's
merelakan mati.
But they got the spike down. They also invested the Nightfall. They're throwing everything into this round.
Yeah.
Desperately needing to find success.
They can start playing art. I'm wondering where Sugetsu chooses to use his lockdown if he does, and he does. Not pushing the player's art or A main back too far though.
Keep an eye on Kawanzin. He's going exploring.
A turret just got put up though.
He's going hunting. Sugetsu's ready for it. He
Allah
clears out
Akbar.
the turret. Unfortunately for him, Sugetsu took a step back.
That's pressure on the back line they have to deal with now. They have to be aware. They're going to go for the defuse though.
They're not concerned for it at all. They're just turning their attention towards the side, and it's going to work out. Zipen's already gotten it halfway.
Yeah, the Gravel didn't come out in time.
Whoa!
Les, the spam there cleans up one, but still so much to do. Did he buy enough time? It's so close.
Whoa!
0.64. The kill comes through at the end, as does the defuse for Navi.
Tipis manja coy.
It's disaster. They had that round in the bag. You called out the time less than a second. Tui's didn't get his Gravwell back in time to pull him off the half defuse. And it's domination right now.
Unreal.
It's got to have been a cooldown too.
Pullnya telat ya.
Yeah, 1000%.
That's just crazy. They were relying on that. And Loud is going to have to try to do something different, go into CNED for potentially the first time. CNED's been getting free reign on this B long side. We haven't really paid attention to it because Loud is just taking mid or A. But half the time he's deep B long, getting so much information for his team, allowing a full stack towards A.
And he's been patient with it too. He doesn't take B long and then continue to push into spawn. He just holds the space. Contains what Loud are trying to do on the attacking side.
Unless they're coming back to him right now because he has that lockdown, but another A push means another A retake potential. They're going to use it for the post plant, which I love, instead using the flash, and there's finally a go button from Loud here.
Yeah, I like this too. Perhaps seeing that there was no one on site in the previous round, given the Rolling Thunder they invested, they're a bit more cautious in what they spend this time around. Still an op in the hands of CNED.
Killjoy agak susah nih.
Keep an eye on that, Sadak. Trying to push his way forward. They invest the Cosmic Divide too as Angel falls. Sadak on the swing. Oh, gun barrel spotted. Sugetsu on the swing. The kill in favor of Sadak. That was
I mean, that was right next to him. But he takes a step back. Now gonna re-aggress. That op barrel really long. The Seas and the Prowler getting info on the other side of the wall.
A nice pivot there too to use the Nanoswarm to push him back even further. That will be the round here. And Navi's gonna try to do damage. Remember, Loud has struggled to get rounds put together. If they lost weapons here, that really hurt. Whereas Navi, plenty of
Ini kan enak cuy. 7-3.
And that's what I was expecting the entire time. Where was this execute? Where was something to do with the breach and fade to just push yourself on site?
Yeah.
It's not like, I mean, Navi does have a decent amount of delay in the form of Sugetsu, but not much more. Not as much as you get from like a Viper Harbor or something like that. So I'm pretty surprised, but it is similar to what we saw from Loud against Team Liquid on Split, where just consistently waiting. Finally though, a fast push, and we might get it again.
This time it's going to be towards B though, and remember the op is here for CNED.
Good shock.
Fault line to push him off the angle, has to dash
Top-downnya bagus banget timingnya.
So space gathered.
Look at the damage that shock did, and he might even get even more on Aspas. Aspas down to 68 HP, Sadek 92.
Dude, Angel's just got like heat-seeking utility right now. Prowler's gonna go real far away.
Anjing bijinya putih cok.
Take a step back. Angel with the dart. They're gonna try to flood up behind it, the snap onto the first. Take flight. And now the drone to follow. Shao is still so far away.
Anjing Angel jadi gacor lah.
Navi to all gather up and then push forward.
Shao's one kill off of a Cosmic Divide. That will ruin the Belong player's ability to play into this.
Oh, I mean, it's done if they
Karena dia udah ada fade, makanya dia nggak ngambil Sky.
Final boss down, Aspas 68 HP, still playing backside. Valentine close by. The swing out, and Zipan and Shao get both. A 3v2 here. Cena taking a lot of damage, and there's the Cosmic Divide that you were just referring to. They have to push ahead of it, but they don't know that Cena's in the smoke. First shot goes wide.
Gila ya.
It buys time. It's a distraction.
They don't know
Nothing
they're
but
off.
a fade. They have to face check it. A
Nice.
1-2. He swings through and gets Loud the fourth.
Last round in the half.
Halo Raka.
Might have been a slow start here from Loud. As this half comes to a close, they are turning right back up.
Caca diem ya.
Heroics though, Bala.
Pribadinya banyak Caca
Are
anjay.
going to continue to work, sure. But man, these rounds have been so close. I look at Angel's face.
Caca kalau nggak dukung Loud, gue doain nikah sama Dapurito.
These last two rounds, much more emphasis on hitting with
Megang
the
Loud
breach,
gua.
with the fade. These sort of tools, they get you the sights so frequently. Force them to play these retakes. Force them to play the advantage.
Biar anaknya
or the
jelek,
disadvantage
Jing,
of this
kayak
map, which is
Dapurito.
those B-long post plants. They're so tough. They're expecting a push here, Doug. Navi.
Revealing area.
They get some peeks into mid, but they don't go even further. And Loud was waiting for it. Tui's was just sitting there. Look how deep they've got.
Kalau ganteng punya cewek, setan.
Something interesting is about to happen. Potentially a fake. Potentially another deep flank that we saw in Pistol Round with a different player.
They got the Nightfall in line for Valentine. Seems like that was all they were really concerned about. And now flipping of the map. You see the
Bisa banget sih, bukan salak sih.
They are dropping of the op for more of a reliable weapon. That's a nice haunt.
Baru putus karena lu jelek, babi. Anda dah.
You know that the hit's this way now. You see it for Navi. They're starting to scatter and rotate over towards B.
Ini Sinet ngapain sih? Anjing dagang.
Gonna hit what? 1-2. Zipan just dropped Aspas as he was dashing into his face. Two members of Loud already down. Loud.
Gelo.
Oh my gosh. They just got obliterated by Navi.
Jago ternyata sih.
Prime Gaming flawless as they get 8.
Zipan and CNED re-peek through, and the reposition from
Cok
Zipan
lapar gue, Cok.
perfect.
Gue cuma nonton match ini dong ya.
His first kill, using Aspas's smoke to do so.
FUT T1 kurang cuy.
It's just mad too. I mean, a different
Mending gua
timing
turun
of the
aja.
dash, and he doesn't see him, right? The Cloudburst covers it all up, but because of that slight time window, he's able to hit the spam into it. And then the exec is blunted. Careful there, you might show too much emotion.
Map 3 map juga nggak apa-apa dah.
Half in favor of Navi. You wouldn't believe it, but we just had Zipan talk about feeling like the underdog. Let's take a listen.
Navi, the underdog.
To be honest, I think we had the upper hand because of the veto and etc. We had a good preparation against them. So yes, I think it came down to our own mistakes today that we need to fix. But I see the potential in the team coming into this tournament. I think as a player I tried to maybe become a bit smarter and become less aggressive. Also changed the different roles. Usually I was only a duelist main, but now with flex and initiator. But yeah, also when I started playing I didn't know anything about like the fundamentals or team play like this. I had no clue about this stuff, so I think I learned a lot about this stuff the last 3 years.
It's just seeing it, and it's just seeing it with the op. Certainly not the weapon you want in a situation like this, but he's gotten one. Is he gonna be able to get the second? Yes, he does!
To the fans all over the world, thank you for supporting us, guys, even if we're not playing that good right now, and thank you for always being there for us. We'd like to be remembered for being the underdogs that everyone doubted that won champions. We didn't expect much from us, you know, we had a rough year, but I see the potential now. We just have to fix the small mistakes.
They consider themselves underdogs, and yeah, the year that they've had may have been a little bit leaving some to be desired, but they find themselves up 4 rounds at half balla in this opening best of 3. Elimination on the line and so much to gain if you're able to survive.
This would only be the second time that they miss a global playoff in a tournament that they attend. It was only recent at Tokyo.
Gimana nih laut kita nih?
It's actually the same story as well.
Busuk
They've
kah?
only missed one time back at Copenhagen. Despite that,
Laut
both
busuk kah ini,
teams
coy?
bombed out of Tokyo. So I think both teams are feeling the same
Comeback
way
nih,
after
comeback.
the criticism that they've been getting online.
Yeah, sure.
They've got to feel kind of like they've lost that backing from the community in terms of expecting them to be able to win a tournament like this.
Well, also, I imagine in a lot of ways, failing to meet the expectations they set when these rosters were put together. When they departed on their maiden voyage, and they find themselves in a position now where one of these two teams will not make the dock.
Look at NAVI right now. They've already collected both orbs. They've collected control of both A main and B main. And now they can regroup with the spike that's still laying in spawn. They've maintained mid control as well from the barriers, so they have a pretty good idea of what's going on. Meanwhile, Loud have this trap set up.
Gila dia kontrol
Off the turret contact with Sadek stun. So if they go into B Link here, Navi needs to be ready to sprint back out, which I think they're expecting. Look,
yeah,
Spike's going towards A. They're
Turret
in the
nembak
street right now.
di stun.
I think the thing is too for Navi, they got all that control
Gua
without
nggak
having
pick.
to invest very much. Zipan has his knife already back up. Angel just used his dart again.
And that was a dart from A main. So they break the setup in B. And they head right back towards this split with the drone coming in, forcing these players close.
Oh, what a snap from Aspas. Two
Man.
was able to get a second. That was clean. Angel, where are you going, bub? Sights behind you. You have the spike. Go looking for the fight. Go get the spike down.
Oh, well, it's actually considering how to play in this scenario, knowing there's a lot of players in art. Knowing how Xiao's already on site, they're going to try to take control of this. He needs to win these fights.
Oh, but he manages to get out of there without taking any damage, which, given how the first couple of shots went, is a major success.
Les is putting them into the pen right now. They are completely boxed in.
Is it comfort for Navi, or is it a problem? Down in numbers, completely surrounded, as you were mentioning, leaving
Masa iya Angel menang, coy?
top fragging on the server and looking for more magic. 91 HP,
Ah,
the
nggak
classic
mungkin
does
dong.
not connect. As Loud get the pistol.
And they needed that one.
Desperately.
Important round to throw it all you had. And you're seeing already the trap play in B Link. Navi spring that very well. There needs to be a follow-up, and there was from Loud. Playing up close inside of Art, this smoke. Navi wasn't, you might have said that they weren't spending util to get the space that they had, but they also weren't getting the util out of Tui's. And not having the tools to get through it. So I want to see that continue from Loud.
Ini mana sepi banget. Wah, udah
Give
pada
them the
turun
space,
nih.
whatever it might be, and also plays. There's a deep stun here.
Kacau
Let
ini,
up
coy.
by Sadak that can go all the way A main for these two players that are
Lemas
pushing up.
nonton ini.
Without the haunt tagging, though, they might not go for it, and Sadak might release. He already used it.
Yeah, he used it at the very beginning to set up what you were just discussing. Drops the fault line. They're able to control the space, get the orb into Kawanzin's hands, who's now
Masa
halfway
iya
to his
error. Oke,
That
tuh
is
error ya.
pretty good prophylaxis from Sadak to set up that fault line so that they don't want Navi does
Terus
not want
apa
to
yang
go
lu
into
ambil,
A
Donald?
main at the
Wah.
beginning of the rounds at all, because that catches everything and you have no ways to dodge that. So good conditioning.
Prowler to clear out main, nothing found. Just Tui's filling on the space behind it. Navi with 3, make that 4. Pushing up
Kenapa
towards
dia
Art,
rotate, Cok?
trying to create some pressure across the middle of the map.
They're really trying to find something for CNET here. With this Marshall, the Sheriffs were really good for Loud on this second round. In that first half, Knife spots nothing playing into side secret.
Meanwhile, Sadak's fault line just came back up. Cowan has his haunt too.
All this A main control too allows for such an easy pinch onto the players who are trying to get this spike down, and they should try to get it at all costs.
That was so weak. Oh my gosh, it was the aftershock that kills him?
Where'd that even come from?
Great shot out from CNET to get one though. You would think it's gonna crumble, and that's exactly what happened.
Easy for Aspas ya.
Loud with 6.
And that pistol was everything. To be able to go into a round like that. Aspas with those ghost kills at the end gets an op as well in this bonus. And it feels like they're gonna have a big attempt to reduce this, not from 4 that we saw at the half, but to even it out right away.
Bingung, coy.
To go, man. He had no choices. I thought the Prowler was gonna get him. He had nothing but a sliver of HP.
A ghastly bite.
What tools do Navi have? Angel's close to having his ult. The drone early towards B long. Tui spotted.
Astra main di
And
B.
despite the drone not lasting as long as it used to, you can still clear up close here. Especially in combination with knives from Zipon.
Tui's reading the timing and that start that he dropped as soon as he saw the drone. Turns into a smoke, but they're already past it. Sadak already invested his fault line too.
Speaking of investments, that op is going to be real tough to use here when it comes down to it on this retake. But if they do go for a B long post plant, then all of a sudden that kind of changes.
Yeah, I mean, just having Xiao as the controller.
Buset, si Sao jauh bener tuh.
Not as much to break those sight lines.
We have Aftershock as well.
Jauh bener anjir.
Breakout players trying to play close while they defend the back of sight.
And you are absolutely right. They're not intent on trying to play this down long. They want to take the fight out onto the site. They want to scrap with what Loud have to offer. The dumping of utility backside is Loud. Less pushes into it. In the nano gets 2. And now they swing back out. Angel continuing to frag. Hey, the guy really is in rare form today.
miss lagi.
It's just a tap though. That gravity well's good. And they have so many different angles they can peek out from. This is far from a done deal.
They're gonna get half already?
I don't think they're gonna be able to. That's big from Aspas. He's gonna have to hold this the whole way because time is short. He's gonna have to get it. And
Tadi mau meledaknya 0,6. Sekarang 0,6-nya nggak bisa diffuse.
Actually pulling off of that. That is very closely timed. But man, how long it took for them to get on it. I think they probably should have made that decision already. Yeah, there's just, they should have known too.
Aduh, tipis banget.
Probably wouldn't even have had time to get off of that, but Loud, I mean, they lose a big opportunity. It was just a bonus. The only big thing here, Aspas with only a Marshall since he invested in op last round, but he also
emang cewek itu kayak gitu, cuy.
Angel doesn't control belong here. He can certainly pick up the
Itu
knives.
bikin
you can tell they want to do it.
He's looking to counter this.
Sesuka hati dia.
Could be real nice. He's calling players over.
Yeah, everyone's here.
Can he get out?
Oh, just barely. I mean, look at his HP.
So that disadvantage they had with Aspas's weapon, suddenly he has one of the best in the game. Whew.
Ramai-ramai kata dia, ada 3.
Peek out from Aspas.
And I think that's a lot of time spent there from Navi to try to counteract that and not having success on it. In fact, losing Angel too. Suddenly, you're down to 1 minute with very little tools to get back into this. They noted that there was no KJ util right now in street, so they're walking down. But Kaunzin does get
bisa kaget nih orang.
with that jump spot.
Aspas is there too. You see that attempt at a high-low. Speaking of high-low, Aspas trying to get high ground himself. Zippen's timing almost successful.
He missed all 5.
Yeah, he invested everything. Still has Marshall.
Gak ada yang kena tuh
The
tembakan.
knife out. You see Sadak playing up in the smoke, playing up in heaven. He's getting spammed, trying to get peppered through the wall. Les has joined him though. Perhaps that will be enough.
Oh, through the smoke.
Pandal ngeterus smoke di terus
I mean, the
smoke.
reinforcements instantly dealt with. Instantly disabled.
Map ini kan ada Don Hawk anjing. Oh, lu lihat no di atas kiri.
This just seems like another lockout from Navi. Fuse is gonna have to 1v4 to keep this interesting, and he just can't. I mean, Navi looks so good right now.
A 4v5. And yeah, they did get, you know, they got some HP down on Aspas at the beginning of the round, but what is this? They just walk in the street and nothing found by Aspas at all.
No. I mean, even
banyakin nandain ya.
to fight for that orb, knowing what was
Wah, Navi jadi gacor gini, coy.
Causes fits in the loud camp. And down 4 now. I mean, I think we're starting to see a little bit of why Loud was avoiding this so that they could revamp the map. Here's a dash in with the stun. Aspas getting really deep. And they swapped that late round, by the way. Aspas had a Marshall the entire time, and then they made the call for that play, and they find nothing with the Stinger. 2 Buckies, too, bought up. So that Les can play back call, and Twos can play on his smoke at A. The problem is he doesn't have any more smokes.
They're investing 4 towards
Benar,
B right now.
Navi wajar masuk
On the
akal.
defensive side, they have the alarm bot and Link. But that's really all the map control they have. No real idea if anyone's pushing up towards Art or anything like that.
And Loud was stacking B, gonna opt away from that. And I wonder why.
Waduh, balik lagi loh, dia loh.
I wonder if it's just off of
Udah
timing.
benar loh, lot dia loh.
Expecting that they would have already hit and they haven't yet.
And it's not the right call. Angel's bringing his team back towards that B side, which is empty. We know that. And Navi, Sugetsu's going to try to figure out exactly what's going on the rest of the side of the map.
That's so sharp out from Sugetsu. Lets himself get tagged by the Haunt, still gets a kill, keeps rotations from Loud towards A.
Yep, it's important too. When you go and hunt for where they're stacking, oftentimes you want to try to bait a reaction out from them.
Nembusin lagi mati.
The trap that they might have set. If you get tagged by something, all of a sudden they're like, oh, there's a player here, let's go for it. Let's make noise.
Yeah.
Lawannya Iko loh
They've
padahal.
invested the null command. They do have a luxury of a ton of money and a couple of other ults still to play around. So I guess why not?
I think
Pada mau mati
specifically
sama
just trying to
Orb.
avoid
Apa, Spike.
any flashes Sadak might have here.
Well, bos.
Because they have no way to get through that smoke.
There's one of the flashes they were looking to avoid. You see the repositioning, a clean shot out from Sadak.
Sakit banget anjing si Sadak.
And they just want to go down to Spike now. Not give any more ults. Sugetsu could be a guy. He does fall, does get his lockdown up. And Aspas picks up a weapon, so not falling to Spike important there. Oh, Sugetsu one off of the lockdown,
Angel 20 kill, cok.
But that's
Gacor
3 in a
gimang,
row
cok.
now for Navi.
And the final timeout spent by Loud.
20
Done
kill.
for Navi in this game so far too. Despite that first half finally coming back into favor for Loud, it still was 8-4, and Navi never felt the pressure.
Yeah, talk about having control on a situation.
Ini orang baringan mulu.
It's been okay. Your ult cycles have been really nice. You haven't even had to
Twist.
invest timeouts, just because you've been able to use what Loud are using on the other side.
And I'm thinking, how are these Loud players feeling in this moment right here, where they're facing elimination?
Dia main Don Hawk ya,
That
babi.
often for this team, especially the youngsters, come to these global events. Players like Tui's, players like Cow and Zine, especially given the rumors surrounding this team, surrounding the fact that Aspas, this might be the last time we see him in a green jersey. And the rest of the players too.
So difficult to maintain mental clarity when you have all of that weighing on you. And not to mention the
Ikut
demons
aja
of the
dulu.
year
Aduh,
looking over your
lupa, Ci.
shoulder. Memories of Tokyo weighing heavy.
And down 5 on a map they really should be good at, a map that should be challenging Navi. I know Navi is, what, 7-1 on this map, but still, this is where their bread and butter laid. Back at Lock-In, back through Americas, when they had such success, when people thought they could challenge the likes of Fnatic. Where has that gone?
Hey, it's gone stale. It's gone stale in an attempt to reinvent and reinvigorate. They find themselves repeating some of the same questions.
Lagi pakai mouse apa?
Deficit, and meanwhile for Navi,
Di Pro
we
dari
touched
dulu
on
nggak
it a
pernah
little
ganti.
bit, but they're literally doing everything right.
Ikutin manja dulu cuy.
So often this drone from Angel is getting full control of one of these mains. Recall to get CNET across and almost takes down Les too. The important thing is the shift in setup here from Loud after that timeout. Tui swap sites with Les.
Agent NAVI sih ngeselin
Which
sih
they've been
sebenarnya.
doing quite frequently throughout this map so far. It's what you'd expect. But that turret usually was in B-Link. It's set up differently. In front of where that smoke has been landing from the single controller on Navi Xiao. And they're holding on to backall.
30 seconds left.
Timing on the knife, and that's what draws out the fault line and pops a little bit of what they have. But CNET pushing forward, backside, Les is the one he's going to have to challenge, but he's flashed, he can't see a thing. What a setup from Ziban! And then you've got the ult out from Angel. This is beautiful!
Bagus flashnya.
The Rolling Thunder's going to cause
Wait,
serious
kena, cuy.
problems, though. Did they burn the clock too low? Look at CNET. He's got behind enemy lines. Only one found. 4 seconds left. They've got to commit to getting the spike plant down. They do.
3 lawan 2.
Left alone in a 2v3. And do they know Xiao's position? Could he single-handedly secure the round? Could he single-handedly get Navi to map point? Will they clear him? Do they know?
Lagi di mana? Jauh banget tuh Angel.
The fault line, they're aware. Calentine on the swing. The fault line causes problems. Angel left by himself.
Still tough to flush him out, and he's repositioning.
That glowing Vandal's gonna have to find so much more
Kawan
value,
Jin
and it just
sakit.
can't. A 3K
Bukan
for
super
Calentine
light,
is loud
yang
to
biasa.
7.
Yang limited pixel namanya.
Everything at it, though. Talk about Navi doing things perfectly. That round, they certainly burned the clock a little too low for my comfort, and finally we're going to get a timeout because of it. Shocking. I don't think Navi expected the breach ult to come in at all, especially with the lockdown in play, thinking that there's no way they try to close the gap against it. But that's just used to delay. You burn the clock. That's what happens. You get slapped in the face.
We talked about how nice the exit
Langsung
looked out
pause
for Navi,
si
but you're right.
Dumbros.
Ball of the counter punch that Loud threw was just so clean. And that gets us to the position, as you were just mentioning, where Navi finally invests the first time out that they've had to.
For reference, both teams get 2 timeouts throughout the entire map, unless it goes to overtime where they get 1 more, but they could use it at any point. Remember, we talked when Loud elapsed and used their second earlier on. This does give a chance for Fraud, the legendary coach on Loud, to get back into his team's comms and start to encourage them. And I'm seeing Aspas pick up an op right now on my screen, so Navi are gonna start to have to answer questions as they're not on match point, as it still is within 4 here. It's very much a possibility.
Again, you take a quick look at the scoreboard and you would never expect, at least on Navi, what you're seeing. I had no idea that when CNET said in the interview earlier today that Angel was the answer, he was right.
Angel
I'm
is
scared here for
answer.
Navi. When we saw that stun earlier from Sadak into A main, we didn't see the Navi players commit into A main. This time they might just do that. Only 1 stun though. And in fact, it's the opposite now. I think Kalanzin is in danger of getting trapped.
It's such a really nice setup to get a main control, but
Oh, ini
right
serem
now
juga
that
nih.
that is
Balik.
what do they do with it? The dart, the dash,
Yeah,
and the suck.
It just broke the setup. The crossfire that Tuiz and Kalanzin had, they were both stacked up with each other.
Mulai ngantuk manja nih cuy. Ngopi dah.
Pushes them way back. All this to get the orb for Xiao, and
Ngantuk
we've all
gua liat
seen,
ini.
especially in the good old glory days of Pearl before Viper Harbor, how much influence this cosmic divide can have on the B site. Just having it, how that has to change your setup for Loud.
Fade utility cleared out, and Navi seeming like they're bunching up and getting ready to strike towards A. So get to the late lurk. Angel has his dart online. Keep an eye on that. The drone's the first thing out. You see the cloud burst.
Oh, lihat nih, sinet nih,
The knife
jalan
back
tol.
sight to make sure no one's back there.
Waduh,
You see the
kena
dart lit up
recon.
Tui's. He had no shot.
Nice, dapat flank.
So trying to be able to control things with the op. The site is still lost and the spike is still planted.
Oh, Angel's dead.
You're right. But seeing it once again with the counter, the blades. Find success. How did Loud get into this?
Udah recon sih.
Perhaps waiting for the cosmic
Recon
divide to
flash.
expire before they pounce. The flash and the haunt to
Aduh.
provide some cover. Still cleared though.
CNET needs to get value off of Xiao's life. In fact, Xiao finds the time to get out. So that's a spam from Sonic. He just jumps up.
That is outrageous. Xiao hasn't had a clutch moment for a while. He very well maybe do the gravity wall. Gets the first, the second out onto Les. Was so close, but just not close enough. As Loud get another.
My ultimate is ready.
With plenty of time to spare. The patience there
Headshot
pays
kepala
off.
ya.
And you imagine despair possibly setting into the camp of Navi. Couple of rounds lost, control not maintained.
How many times have we seen this aftershock
Whoa.
takedown play? That is nasty from Sadak.
I don't. He
Dia
didn't
ngeliat
see-
barrel
He
doang.
didn't see anything. That was just the.
That's just not fair, man. And that could have changed
Gokil,
everything
cok
too.
Sadak.
Instead leaves Xiao in a 1v3. Now again, Aspas going quick for this push. The stun misses. Any targets that he might have, but it clears the way for him to get this peak all the way top mid.
Such a nice setup in case anyone was close.
Waduh. Gak kena lagi
Angel
palanya.
counting his lucky stars there.
Hilang tuh pala.
Meanwhile, CNET has nothing but stars to count for the rest of the round. Another proper heater of a shot out from Sadak.
What is going on with the two IGLs today? Both of them taking such risky moments there. Sadak, of course, was not expecting this at all.
No, blindsided.
Nih kalah pulang.
You question how he got there because there's an alarm bot on the other
A
side.
knife there.
Betul.
He's always playing backside lesses, so he's very targetable by Zipan.
Gila langsung
Gonna
hancur
push that
sok.
backside that you were just
rekonnya.
mentioning. Targeted with utility, targeted with the Bulldog.
And this has already been a problem for Loud in the last round where Navi hit that B site. He got suppressed, was not able to pop the Nano Swarm for the players to push him backside. So he lost control of that now. Leaves his team again in a 3v4.
Navi playing tight on site too, not playing for this B long play.
And again, we have this Cosmic Divide, but everybody playing in front of it like you just mentioned.
They just handed the op over into Tui's hands. Aspas is going to want to make a play here. He's dropped down below. Kawanzin dealt with. Angel was wise to it. Just two remaining for Loud. And a 2v3. Make that one.
Tapping
Tui's has to
busuk
save it out.
soalnya.
He's got to get out. Navi are going to get to map point.
And a big blunder there from Loud, despite even having some success in the early round. Aspas could have gotten a kill. Very advantaged, fighting mid. And then
Mantap coy.
Sonic too with that off angle, but that
Gimana nih?
knife suppressing less.
Akhirnya match
And
point
nobody
manja
calling out
ya.
that they could be down mid. It's just crazy.
Hah?
Oh.
Ih, padahal udah pas loh.
Oh, that hurts so much to look at a second time. Easy now. Don't break it. No tech pauses here, Les. 12 for Navi. No ult currently.
Ditinju tuh ya layar LCD ya.
Again, retake is possible here from Loud. And they're just trying to get these peaks from Aspas over and over.
Yeah.
Recalled Star actually forces him back. Angel's going to find these two players pushing as well, which might end up pushing them into Aspas, but he didn't spot the jet.
Wah ini kosong banget.
Pushing to Art.
These timings. It's what won
Artnya.
them the last round. This time they're going one through Art. Kawanzin cannot get picked.
He was by himself too. There's really no setup here unless he takes a step back and there's a cross with Tui's.
Oh,
And there
nice
it is.
banget.
CNET falling, spamming through the smoke is Tui's as he looks for another, but the counter from Zipan is clean. They're trying to tuck tail, they're trying to get away, and there is no exit. Kawanzin stops them in their tracks. Two remain for Navi, and Angel and Xiao. Spike still in hand, and there's an abundance of money for Xiao, but Angel not nearly as fortunate.
He can't peek here too because Aspas is on the angle. He has to give it
Gila
all a shot.
menyala gini cuy.
There now
Uncle
again with that
Angel.
smoke getting put off, it cuts off Aspas's angle.
Do they go forward here? 35 seconds left. Just a pixel.
30 seconds.
This dart, they might spam.
That Nightfall is going to get a lot of info.
And they spam the Prowlers here if there's any left. No, none from Counting.
No. There's nothing to follow up behind that ult. If you're allowed here, you want to get out of this, investing as little as possible. You've already dropped the Nightfall. You want to keep the lockdown if you can. 13 seconds left. They're going to commit to getting the spike down, and it falls apart. That 2v4 was just too much. Kawanzin with a massive round to get Loud to 9.
Look at that replay too. Cowanzin's timing could not have been more perfect on that chase down. Look, there was the Sadak aftershock behind him. They think that nobody's going to push through, but he's ahead of it by just a second.
He had 12 HP when he pushed into that too.
Yeah, imagine that goes wrong.
Yeah.
All of a sudden we're seeing Navi with advantage and Cowanzin life given and taken away from his own teammate.
Apakah cumbak manja, cuy?
This is a weird buy here from Navi. They walked in the stun 3 players. Thankfully they got that haunt, otherwise they would have gotten sprayed down. No follow-up though.
Ben berak jadinya.
I mean, they've done that at the beginning of every round.
Yes. It's like Navi forget about the conditioning that has come through, but also maybe just defying it, knowing it's never amounted to an actual push. It's always been for control only.
It just feels like blatant disrespect, I agree. Calling their bluff, so to speak.
Look at this advanced
Or
position here from
untuk
Aspas.
Angel ya.
That's where they're walking towards right now.
He's got the op.
Navi have been known and confident in their splits, so have to see if it becomes a thing.
Also note Less's positioning. You mentioned a couple of rounds ago he had been normally playing backside. This time shouldering towards mid.
Oh, that took down the alarm bot right there. With the Hunter's Fury, that's a dash forward from CNED.
The knife to make sure no one's around, but now you're not going to have that for the counter on the lockdown.
Aspas is real in trouble right now. 2 players pushing down B-Long and also through Street, but he's still going to get it.
He's got blades and instantly dropped as soon as they were popped.
Stun here keeps him back for now. They need to recover the spike and get onto it.
CNED's stuck. He's dead. There's no way out, but he's got it covered.
Hello?
He's got
Apakah GG, cuy?
service detail.
Hello?
And they're never going to catch him. He's just on the other side of the wall. But Kawanzin and Sadak stabilized. Can Sugetsu do it by himself? A 1v1. 8 seconds left. Spike out of hand. 5 HP. The shot's not landing the first time or the second.
Gak ada waktu.
And there's just no time. Holy
Waduh, seru bentar,
smokes.
cuy. Toilet.
That was close. That could have been it. Navi could have ended it right there. Sadak for so long could have killed him. I don't even know if that would have changed the situation.
No, I don't think so. Given how it played out, probably not.
Oh my God.
Dude, it's mad to me that both of these teams are playing on knife's edges and everyone is smiling on the stage or behind the scenes. We're out here losing our minds.
Well, this map one, listen, we got a long way to go. Back into it. And right away, Angel's gonna try to push off Aspas from this op angle.
Dude, that drone is so nice. Given that Aspas would be holding the lower angle, it gets such a high vantage point.
And he switches it up quite often. Look at this too, he's playing in the smoke that actually caused them trouble when they were trying to attack into Navi.
Meanwhile, keep an eye on this trap. If they decide to go towards the link, you've got the alarm bot crossfire from Les and Sadak.
As that smoke falls, they use that Prowler. You're absolutely right. If he buys time for this fault line to come back up too, they could definitely have a trap play. And they're re-clearing both sides at the same time in A main. Angel!
Wow! Hang hot! Auto hang hot ya!
The only thing separating life from death for Angel, for
OT
Navi.
incoming, cuy!
And it's the 2 new players too going for a proactive play. They've got more coming.
Balik, deh!
You're right.
Nah!
He's there with them.
Sikat!
1-2 punch.
Nah!
Devastating duo, and can it clean them up? CNED's op stabilizes for now, but now it's less. You thought you dealt with it all.
30 seconds left.
But there's more on the other side.
Serem gindang, cuy.
It's going to be gorgeous. There's no idea. They
Ah!
have no idea, but the pixel betrays them. A re-aggress from Sugetsu.
All he needs to do is just buy time now. They're going to go into Aspas.
Wow, nice! Wih, anjing kok kena lah.
It's just contain. Walking into the slaughter is Sugetsu.
Nice! OT incoming!
Comeback Israel.
Down to 1. And on your screen you see it. Navi feels
Skill
the
Navi
pressure
mana
already.
tidur biasanya tuh.
I mean, what a timing.
Si Ojan kayaknya udah
What a
jengkar.
call as well from Navi to try to come back into this, but Kawanzin and Tui's just shut it right down. There's no play.
Bocil Navi turun
Navi
biasanya
says,
cuy,
"Yeah, they
lemah
got two.
cuy.
Let's make sure that we clear back that space, get those two players down. And it just does not work. Feels like they got the killer instinct. You saw Tui's in that game against
Ada
Liquid.
3 ulti
Really turn it
aman.
out for his team.
Aman aja.
And here again, the same thing. The thing about this timeout, guys, that I want you to note is Navi is dead broke. They've got no economy. Guardians, Judges being bought up right now. So it's got to be a rabbit pulled out of the hat here. Magic needs to be made.
What's the old situation?
They've got some good ones to take the sites, but good ones in response from Loud as well.
Sure.
As we see him again, we'll note them. There's a lockdown here, that's easy. No command 2, CNED has his knives, so the economy might not hurt as much, but that breach we saw, the effects of it.
teori
When the clock winded
harapan.
down, that was a 1 round.
And I mean, given the fact that Cena displayed into Judge, I can't imagine they want to go slow. They're going to want to go slow, but we'll see how things play out. As Loud 1 round away from taking us to OT. And Navi, who held control for so long, find themselves on the receiving side, losing 5 of the last 6.
I'm looking at Aspas' position for the first time. He's going away from B here to play with Kawanzin and Tui's.
Help them up. I mean, Kawanzin is 1 point away from having the Nightfall. If they have that and the Rolling Thunder.
Ada Rolling Thunder cuy, udah ambil orb.
Off of his too. On the other side of the map though, can't recover the orb. So much into this.
Turret nembak di ulti nih.
CNED's Blades and Sadok's fault line.
Ayo.
I'm surprised he's held on to it.
They're going to stay on this. He's going to stay back sight here, hope that no mollies come into his position. To keep
Oh, pure beat!
Oh, no!
Oh, he's got to get away. He's stuck. He can't find a way out, and he's dead.
He forgot about the knife. A crucial mistake that Loud have made before, and that might have costed them the map.
Less on the counter.
Aduh, bisa di-res ya.
Arrived with Nightfall, but the Cosmic Divide defines a great line. How do they reinvent their exit through this?
Can't spam now, but Molly's coming in. Angel might give up his life for Zip-Ons. Still time, though. And they planted the spike in the meantime.
So costly, there it is on the res, but Tui's has an ult of his own. They bring him back to life. They've got the Nightfall that they're going to invest, and that's going to just cause so much chaos on the site. The flash from out into heaven, and you see both ults used, dissecting everything. One finally dissipating. Aspas pushing forward, op in hand. Do they dare peek on the other side of the wall? Now they funnel out, it's a flood.
Busuk anjing.
Time running short.
Udah nggak ada waktu.
Navi trying to hang on to the control of the situation. It's a 3v2, less than 2. He's
I think GG, man.
The Young Bucks, can they do it themselves at 2v2? It's all
Nah.
down to less.
Over.
9 HP the first found, but no idea of the second.
It's over, man.
Will certainly seal it. Navi somehow
Dia
maintain control and take Mount
si
One.
apa namanya? Si Sadak lupa kalau ada pisau, cok. Dia bisa segala lupa dah. Karena itu kesalahan Sadak. Gue pick winnernya tetap load ya. Bandar soalnya gue. Gue megang itunya cuy. Gue yang megang kendali soalnya. Sorry ya. Yang menang tetap load ya.
It's 50 minutes, but how much are you actually shooting? With Aim Labs, you can compete in over 1,000 tasks that will prepare you for any scenario in any game. So the new ranked season, you play, you get points, you can compare yourself to your friends. With Aim Labs' new one-to-one Valorant maps, you get instant feedback on how to get better crosshair placement, better peak efficiency. You can also instantly modify existing tasks with Discovery. Get started today.
Game 2
for free and join millions of other satisfied players.
Bapi lu tuh ya semua ya. Siapa yang gacor coy?
Bringing in a new roommate to save money, is that the plan?
But we gotta find some way to save, so say hi to Glenn from work. Hey, that's my mom.
Oh, kita dengerin lagu ini dulu, cuy. Kita dengerin lagu manja yang asik ya. Nah, asik. Ada nggak sih suara lagunya? Da da do da na 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 na. Yang kita pam pa 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 pa. Wah, sibuk ngurusin tuh bed ya, Pak. Menit coy. Mending kita main game ini coy. Kalian tahu game ini nggak? Kita main dulu deh. Daripada gabut. Lihat skill gua tuh, GG nggak coy? Pegang satu tangan cok. Game zaman kakek muka lu kayak tai. Ini namanya Gigi Gaming ya. Fotonya RF. Iya, ini kayak RF. Persis. Teretetetete. GG cok ini. Private server, iya. Daripada gabut kan. Seru cok main kayak gini tuh. Grinding soalnya. Udah mau mulai cuy.
And doing something familiar. Against Loud, I think it's actually more important to play to comfort, to play simple, because like we're aiming good, like we're playing good together, so we just need to do it even better. So on Ascent, you're probably gonna see actually something very unorthodox from us. Yeah, it's gonna be weird, so yeah, you'll see.
I'm very excited to see what's gonna be. Thank you so much, Doombros, and best of luck.
What people don't understand is when they say unorthodox, it just means normal because they're always playing unorthodox comps and stuff. So I don't know where they got cooked up, but let's talk about this map. Welcome back, Mimi and Valen here. It went right down to the wire towards there in the end. But after the first half, Mimi, I think we all expected maybe Navi would pick up Pearl.
I mean, that was a heartbreaking way to end it. Sadaf just fumbles the bag a little bit in the final line there with the ultimate. But I think this was defined by the first half. And this composition for Loud, they still played to the tendencies they had with their old comp, where it was a lot of these rounds where they're trying to take a pick in mid, break down the utility, but it's a lot harder to do without the harbor, without that wall Demise normally throws. So they were ending always in these late executes, but in those early round kind of areas where they were taking mid control, these opening picks to Navi, and Navi is a team that's so good at just scrunching down the map, playing together, and never giving away those advantages, which gave them that really great position into the second half.
Yeah, and you talk about kind of scrunching down the map and kind of confining Loud into one area. I think a big difference is they had no harbor, so the cascade wasn't in play to get a lot of that free map control, especially towards B long and A lobby. So the push-pull wasn't there. It was a little bit more obvious what Loud was trying to do because you actually have to show where you are with the breach and where you are with the fade. Instead of the harbor, you can kind of do long plays and kind of cascade and fake map control. It looked like they were much more simple this game, and Navi was ready for all of their strategy.
Yeah, I mean, Angel was diffing them most of that game, so that tells a story in itself. But Mimi, what did you think about that comp? We've never seen it before on Pearl from any other team. Was that the right choice or a risk not worth taking?
I still like the Harbor Viper better. I think the reason they did it is because back when Pearl came out, Fade was still really good. You could use the cats for everything. She was refreshing really quickly. She was in a strong spot. She's been nerfed since then. And when she got nerfed, well then people just started picking up the Harbor Viper, and then that was the meta composition.
Wah, komposisi apa lagi nih? Yoru gak aspas coy.
It has a good idea around it on Pearl. The meta's just never been in the right place for it. But I think Loud took a really big risk in trying to play it that didn't really work out in this one. It's just such a defense-sided idea that when their retakes weren't working, it didn't feel like there was that extra thing to justify the risk taken.
I mean, the crazy thing is it still came down to the wire, Mimi. They didn't get owned whatsoever on that map, and it's time to take a quick stop in the AIM lab shoot around with Les. He was trying his hardest, you know, alongside Kawa as well, Valen, to try and take them over the line. It wasn't to be in the end, but the duel between him and Sugetsu was pretty entertaining.
Yeah, I think Les played phenomenally this series, but the only thing I would critique is the hold towards B. Oftentimes they were kind of giving up the B bomb site and they were losing the post plant, which is why I think they struggled in the second half. So what I would like to see more is kind of him playing in sight, which he did oftentimes, but was getting overwhelmed with utility. So that means the support staff has to help him more and kind of flood in and help Les. But regardless, he played phenomenally. Look at him shooting around. He's getting ready. He's kind of hitting his flex, shaking his mouth. Yeah, he's getting ready for the map too.
He's actually playing at 16,000 DPI for the second match, so he's ready to go.
Yeah, my sense is pretty high. But let's talk about this second map because we heard it there from Doombros that they have something unorthodox prepared. Again, it's Navi. It could just mean that they're playing the most bog standard comp ever. But I like that word unorthodox because the last time we saw Loud play this map, Mimi, I think it was a pretty unorthodox comp from them as well.
I feel like there's a chance this ascent might mold me a little bit because I did.
Oh, main sofa coy, main sofa.
Running last time again.
Normal agent kah?
I think it's a solid idea to have the breach so you can pick up
Jet
better
sofa.
extremity control. But I think what you're sacrificing in refresh utility from the Sova, in having that KO in the mix, is just such a big sacrifice. And I didn't feel like Loud was as prepped enough on it.
Masih 240 ya.
Making that decision, in my opinion.
Yeah, a comp
mau beliin 360 kah?
requires a lot of set plays.
Boleh,
So a lot
boleh.
of preparation has to go into it, and it really didn't look like it was fully there. We didn't see enough trap plays coming, but the breach has a lot of potential. Some plays I want to point out, if they run the comp, is these cat traps where he
Let's go, Lord! Semangat! Let's go, Lord!
So, and likewise towards
2546 kah?
traps, I think there's a lot of opportunity for Loud
Bukan 2566 ya.
new set plays that Navi haven't
Masih tahun jebut gua.
but it kind of comes down to if they prepped on that or not.
Well, let's find out now and see what agents we're going to be getting in the Prime Gaming Agent Select. Navi, what have you got? What is unorthodox about this? Oh, wait.
Oh.
This is
That's
what I
very
mean.
reasonable. I mean, this is a reasonable
Apaan?
Switching off the side for
Unorthodox,
kill time.
babi.
And thank everything.
Nipu
Because Loud
anjing.
is back to normalcy. They've always been one of the best Ascent teams in the world. I think at a time we're the best Ascent team in the world. Their fundamentals are great.
Tipu gak coy ini coy?
This comp makes so much more sense to me.
Menurut gua sih tipu ya.
Yeah, and one thing about Loud is, of course,
Cuma beda Fed sama Sofa, babi itu Dumbros. Kalah lu ya.
Sodhawk is one that really sticks out to me because with his KO utility, he's always going back and forth between A main into cat fights, being so proactive with his flashes and stalling out hits with his nade that he's been a perfect util player for them on this map on the defensive side. So shout out to him, and we have to see, you can look at how they're going back and forth between mid to A main and all the set plays that they can do with the flashes. It's really great to see.
Well, Loud fans here in the Shrine, they need your energy. Send it to them and see if we can get a third map here. And I'm going to throw it over to your casters, Doug and Bala, for the call.
Masuk map, kita tutup bednya ya. Bet seru-seruan ya.
Because if the first map was any indicator of what we're in for, Ascent is going to be a wild time, a change in compositions from Loud and Bala. Elimination on the line, end of the year on the line.
And what a sad, sour note it would be for Loud to go out 0-2. But it is their map pick. It is back at it. And it's time once again for this game to start, this pistol get underway. And I think when Doombro said they have a surprise, I'm surprised that they didn't have anything cooked up because this is the bog standard. They love to run the fade on this map despite not having the Sova, which can counter the lockdown. They are so good at still making space in this situation. Dealing with that combination. Makes it very unorthodox to play against, but one we haven't seen. We haven't seen Loud go up against them. In the past, you would have expected this to be a massive battleground for these two teams, but they just have not tested each other until now.
Unexplored waters between these two juggernauts finally clashing, this time with the stakes as high as they have ever been. Loud on the attacking side, a heavy lean towards A right now, as it seems like they're going to want to split into a lot of the teeth of what Navi have on defense.
Balik. Kemen. Tinggalin aja satu shot. Percaya sama gua. Pasti pada rotate itu.
But the rotate's getting pulled right now. And Louder working this very well against Navi.
A little bit of a deep smoke. As another countered, allowing CNED and Angel to both drop out from heaven. No real idea of what's up there. Instantly has to reposition, 67 HP, looking for another angle. Finding comfort in the confines of the smoke, and CNED with the second, very clean.
Waduh.
I mean, this 1-2 punch of CNED and Angel might have just secured the round. They've gotten all of them. Holy less.
Dia naik ke atas. Kalau nggak naik ke atas rata itu.
Navi get the pistol, but fireworks out of the gate.
I was gonna say, Angel saving them, but at the end of the day, it's Xiao. He came out fast through heaven there. Clean up that final kill, and good movement too, because if he falls, all of a sudden you have to play this little footsie game. Which, honestly, is how the round started too. Both these teams, after they got that initial pick in mid, waiting for smokes, TPing into them, playing with the dashes. Just looking and waiting for the teams to lose track of exactly what's going on the site. Well done from Navi to allow that to happen. Those couple kills from CNED, huge.
Oh, I think on the other side of things too, very reminiscent of what we saw on Pearl. Less with a hot start, but the pistol loss. We'll see how they can convert. Aspas once again with the Marshall.
Yeah, early in these games, Des touched on Les's performance at the beginning of Pearl 2. And overall, it felt like he was the guy trying to will them back in.
Iya, dukung Loud memang dari awal.
Give them some energy. And it looked like a cohesive unit at the end, but at the beginning it was slow going. Trying to get their bearings about the game plan ahead of them. See if that same thing begins, because that would be real bad when you need every attack round you can get on this.
CNED looking for the challenge on the second. Sadak is bold to face.
Kenapa hitam lagi? Udah hitam sendiri.
Damage dealt. Angel's positioning here could be really nice. The first couple of shots are errant. He has to take a step back.
No pressure. Yet on this Killjoy setup, and Zipon's knife is perfectly timed. Still not quite sure exactly what Loud are doing though. And you're looking to see CNED actually spot into mid right now. Just because Angel and
turret nggak sih,
Shaw are
Manis?
actually really up close here. They could fall, and if they fall, that's two guns that are easily given back.
Scoop-upable, some might say, but I mean, it's just Loud that's getting picked to shreds.
Harus mati loh, Les. Kok nggak gembel loh.
Tough setup to break, but very risky one to go at anyways. And we're not going to see that magic that we saw from Loud in the first map. After that eco, it's a Prime Gaming flawless instead from NAVI.
But I do think as much as things change,
But I do think
remain the same. And much like we talked about Les and his hot start on map 1, we've got to talk about Angel's hot start on map 2. I mean, you imagine sometimes there are flashes in the pan for the guy, and you go, well, that's not sustainable, right? You know you can't do that again, but it's an excellent start for the IGL.
Well, I think it is. People always describe it feast or famine.
Yeah.
And it's specifically here, the LCQ run on this map. Angel was doing a lot of feeding in this instance.
Iya, 2-0 aja dah, biar cepet kelar dah.
On the defense, I think is a different story.
Ah, ini lot nih.
Oh, early peek from CNED doesn't get any damage done to him, but does do a little to Sadak. A risky peek, and I think Sadak's going to try to clear up mid, knowing where the jet is, but there might be a trap here.
What's across? There's really nothing else on the other side. I mean, even if Xiao swings, he has to wait a little bit for reinforcements to arrive and spawn, which they've just now done.
Well, don't forget, too, Angel could have flashed at any moment from tree.
Wah, sopanya keciduk nih. Feeling gua.
Go down mid right now. This is crazy. In the mid round.
Oh my gosh, CNED. Les tried countering at just the right time, but he was overwhelmed.
Keciduk
What
kan?
was that from CNED? It felt like 3 bullets. Sprayed wildly. Oh my god.
Hello. Talk about wild, talk about aggressive, ambitious. And bold, but perhaps it's enough. Only one found, and
Yang mati Sao anjing.
CNED still with 3 in the other round for NAVI. The bonus secured.
Gotta see that from CNED again.
Yeah.
It felt like 3 bullets shot, not aimed at the second, and still it found his head. Look at this.
What?
The lineup is beautiful. That's just crazy from the Turk.
Ayolah. Navi, ayo Navi.
Antuk
gimang nih, cuy.
Momentum swing. Loud need to. Again, it's so difficult to stay in this map if you're not going to start accruing a few attack rounds. And they need to come at some point.
I mean, given how this map plays, sometimes
kayunya di situ.
4 rounds on attack is a win.
Especially when you have a little bit more standard of comps.
Yeah.
When you're not playing with any of the Viper or anything like that, which did come and go out of the meta. Shadows traveling. Talk about abandoning ideas too. Loud instantly after that one game they played against DRX, abandoning the breach comp that they tried. Look at this, they're getting aggressive again on Cat. Aspas here.
Oh, the paranoia was so good. I mean, that's the only thing that saved his life.
Yeah, he didn't know how close they were either, because he could have seen them for sure. CNED still dueling in mid.
The alarm bot is still up too, so if CNED wants
Aduh,
to take
Oyong, Yong. Permainan apa, Yong?
cover with utility.
Oh, no way. That turret's not going to be able to get timing, but for a second there, it looked like Sugetsu might get picked off by Les. But it's passive from him. That looks like it's pointed at him.
Yeah. It looks like it's just staring, you're right.
30 seconds left.
The alarm bot's spotting mid. The turret cleared. The door follows too. You only got 2 members from now.
Wah, main backset berdua, cok.
If Loud want to make a run at this with the pistols that they have in the Stinger and 2 his hands, they're going to have to do so with some ferocious velocity. Because reinforcements for NAVI are coming, the defense has started to rotate through spawn.
Ayo, plan dulu.
Starting to feel some of the pressure.
Jangan lawan back. Plan aman aja 1 orang. Aduh, ada flash lagi.
It's so good out from Zipan, man. How do they get through this? The sheriffs are working. Sugetsu feeling some of the pressure. The spike
Ada
that
waktu.
landed, the kills come through, and NAVI gets 4.
They still get all the damage done. Though from Loud, and remember that was an eco. That was just a couple of sheriffs spot up. So they still, I mean, despite the fact that this momentum's growing for Navi, despite the fact that that scoreline is growing, that bank will take a hit there. So that's a success in my book if you're Loud on that eco.
Duh, 4-0 nih.
Operator in the hands of CNET, 8-2 right now for the start from Navi. He's got blades to work with too. Oh, that high low, that high low and the one-way is just too much.
Kepancing.
Loud barrel through the defenses of Navi.
CNET's trying to re-peek into this. He's so active, but the drone's still up and he's tagged by it.
Gila lu. Jagoan lo.
He bought time though for Shao to get on site.
Aspas falling, Shao with a really nice haunt.
That's an instant pop there. They're going to use the Hunter's Fury to get him out of that position.
Shao's dead. Shao's so dead.
Boleh ultinya.
Sugetsu's gone re-aggressing, and he might find the timing on less. He's going to find the timing on the flank. They bowled that utility out, and Sugetsu almost gets a second.
But Tui's TP still maintains the space. They just got to get through, and they do.
Akhirnya dapat 1 poin.
Chaos ensuing in round 5, but Loud finally on the board.
I don't think that's how the round was drawn up.
No, I don't think so. I mean, where do you even choose to replay from that round?
I know, right? I do want to bring attention to Cowantin again there, taking a duel against Angel. That's the first duel. Cowantin was 4-0 on first kills to first deaths when he was playing the Fade in the last map.
Masih bisa senyum.
That's the sort of thing that you
Pergi deh, Pak.
for some extra success as they push me.
Holy aggression. I mean, the haunt found everyone. Fortunate for them, it was just 1 kill.
Yeah, but it's gained so much space in mid at the same time.
Mati nih kayaknya si Les.
I mean, look at this crossfire. Sugetsu's here. Les is dead. They had seen it to help.
Bener aja.
In case things got too messy, and that Nightfall's gonna hit them all. The C's too, they've got the Prowlers. They can't get out.
They're so low.
They're so heavily suffocated by Navi. The defense does not relent as Navi
Busuk
gets
sih.
alive.
And the final kill there, CNET spamming his
Waktunya turu nggak sih?
The
Turu lah.
combination there of the C's and that Nightfall decays them so much that everybody running out on site is 1 HP, despite not taking any damage up to that point.
Gak ada hype. Gak jelas mainnya anjir. Si Loud.
That's the thing that you don't really
Gila rata loh, masuk setnya nggak jelas,
the
cok.
value of Fade in some instances, or even as a
Babi lah.
combination, it's not one that you think of very often.
Yeah.
And it feels like once again we're in this position where Loud early in the game need to readdress.
Waduh,
what the game
apaan
is
tuh
and
Bang
potentially change it
Rizky?
up. But I think in this case, Navi has been so proactive on the map, CNET especially, floating so much, reclearing so much, especially in that last round, right? That dive into A main, that draws so much attention that they just walk down mid with no info gained from Loud. And they're so focused on Zip-On pushing and reclearing that space that there's nobody really to trade the 2 players who are pushed up in mid. And that's the sort of thing that's really unpredictable, that you can't really deal with as a game plan adjustment. You just need to call out the signs and quickly come up with a way to have a protocol against it on the fly.
Weh, 5-1, ayolah!
Almost
Gak
useless.
ada semangatnya nih, Loud. Wah, pulang nih. This is Brazil. Do you ready to lose, Brazil?
Force up.
Masa dia mau jadi do you ready to lose, cuy?
Excuse me. Plus the Guardian too makes this still a very dangerous round.
I mean, what a cool setup. They had the paranoia out from B, the dash in towards B, and the flash from out tree from Zip-On.
Yeah, and it's trying to go deep enough that it's the looking at the players. So he's basically flashing them from behind.
It's different variation on this Sharks attack pounce, but the thing is, it was just Les who was over there. He's already fallen. The rest of Loud towards A. Aspas is already out on site. He's going to have to turn that flash. They know where he is. Epic cleans him up, and it's once again a slaughter.
Rata.
Prime gaming flawless through for Navi.
Nggak bisa ini, cuy.
This is where I was afraid of in this map pool.
Susah.
Both of these maps, it feels like Navi is taking advantage of a
Mending gitu main Piper anjir.
In their identity on these specific maps, Ascent is no different. It's a place where they lost many times recently, where it used to be their home ground. It used to be their old reliable. It used to be the one where they barely lost to anybody internationally or at home.
CNED, early challenge, has to dash away.
And these are things that are difficult. Again, I'm saying, CNED constantly peeking places and never getting punished for it. So you have to be very careful how you approach the center of the map.
Iya, mending tubrut kita, coy.
Or any extremities at all if you're loud, and that's causing so much labored efforts in their defaults. Looks like Counting playing anti-flash for something to come more out on Cat. Instead, though, Navi is taking this opportunity to swap players. Zipon started over towards
Itu anu apa, babi?
his way back towards market, and they leave Angel alone on A for a long time here.
Goblok anjing Andi.
He peeks for info right now.
Aduh, pengen cuci muka manja dulu, coy.
Just jump spot. And that's 3 players now from NAVI, where it was a second ago. Nobody except Angel. Now they're going to have everybody. Still time to pivot.
Desperately need to get around.
1, 2, nggak boleh kayu yang ngontek anjir.
Look at that deep smoke. They
Wah.
They're so aggressive into this, and they have no idea the defense here. And you've got CNED who's there too. The flash out,
Whoa.
swing, but what? What a response!
Wow.
Perhaps finding comfort in
Wow.
desperation.
T1 skip ya. T1 sama FUT kurang seru.
That's a big blunder there from Navi. Might give room for Loud to get back into this game again.
Gila, dia udah tahu bakal nge-flash terus pada antidote semua. Pada anti-flash semua.
50-50 angle.
I mean, they've just won so many of those 50-50s so far, though.
Both looking at the same direction, though. Trying to swing to help and deny the plant.
Mantap, percaya. Kamu lagi
Crossfire at its most basic.
Depths banget kan?
Look at that peak from Sadak. He doesn't stop
Abis
running.
depths. Ya, cuma 2 match. Soalnya kan udah pada banyak yang gugur.
Yeah, that's just Phil.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. That flash, they're running away from it already, right? The only person that's going to flash is Aspas on that angle, but he's playing in the window as an easy way to strafe away from it and get right back on the line. So yeah, that's to me the first mistake in an otherwise very strong half so far from Navi. And it will cause actually a timeout here.
4-round lead still for the defense, and remember, they did win map 1. They've got Loud on the ropes, but you have to keep in mind how the map
Kalau Loud menang, lanjut.
That guy has massive biceps.
Holy.
You're a big boy.
Yeah, this Cypher Cam is fun. Put your signs up. I still can't read that.
Yeah, I can't read what that says, but I'm sure it was a good sign anyway.
My goodness. Yeah, this is tough. For Loud in
Yang udah pulang itu FPX, Crew, Zeta.
They've got plenty of time to still play in this series, whereas Loud, it feels like the time is ticking away.
Satu lagi apa ya? Liquid.
There's only a few more rounds in this half.
Udah go home itu.
Of it. And 2 is definitely not enough. Despite
TP
how
apa anjing?
this map can look at times, even if it's trended away from that in recent memory.
Well, given, you know, different comps that you were mentioning earlier.
Billy besok kayaknya lawan Energy nggak sih? Energy lagi.
Yeah, we'll see how it plays out. The knife takes flight, getting a little bit of info. Oh, that option.
It's a fight that CNED constantly.
Liquid sekarang pakai scoop, kecup, es kecup, es kecup.
That's right, unless
Cupnya pakai B
same
belakang.
situation gets Sugetsu. That has not been a situation where Sugetsu has died before his util pops off in this map so far. So talk about a huge advantage here, because you have to re-bolster this B site.
Pengen kencing terus dah.
Really far ahead of this. He's got the op. He saw his dash too. When does he proc? Les has been good. Oh, where'd he go? He disappeared.
He's gonna peek off the turret. CNED knows. And the knife indicates a lot of market presence, especially spotting that it's empty. Loud, are you gonna go with that info or go towards the A side?
It seems like they want to go A. That paranoia just barely out of reach from Angel. I don't think it tagged.
Oh, he's up close. Angel could completely snuff this play.
And it seems like Loud are the ones who are sniffing out what's going on the other side.
Now it's CNED's turn.
Just up by himself.
As dash still.
Spam out through the door and he legged side.
CNED panik. Wah!
He's better, but he swings out with the classic and he's flashed. Nobody can see a thing, but CNED falls.
Rata.
10 seconds left.
Hmm.
Loud established control, not just of the side.
Perih tuh si Twist tuh.
Just foot down mid. What can Ziban do?
Twist GG coy.
Loud get a third.
A scramble in the final moments, but that's exactly what happens when you lose your sentinel on the B site. Early on in that one. And Les, huge in this one. What a spam onto CNED too. Somehow, some way, he was staying alive for so long. Twist to close it out too. Feels a little inconsequential at the end of the day.
Menunggu Navi Fnatic. Perex EG.
Can't be happy about that. Specifically,
Seru tuh.
his first death there.
Perex harusnya bisa menang tuh karena udah pakai something. Kemarinnya seru kan 2-3.
Sugetsu has his, but his setup is very deep spread. He's got nanos in mid, alarm bot on cap, and a turret on B. Somehow he's keeping them all active. And he can start to play retake on both sides, despite Navi playing full 3 players on A. That shock just took down one of those nanos.
Belum GG ya, Dik?
They don't know that it's nanos.
Aman, Dik.
You wouldn't normally be expecting that. It's often the alarm bot that's placed there.
Slight visual cue if you're watching it, but other than that, nothing to know if you've damaged it anyways. Right.
Waduh, nggak bisa keluarin pisau deh. Tawan.
See it smoke out. The drone's gonna clear full A.
And spotting the alarm bot there is key, because that's not been there, remember.
Yeah. Do they push into that off of Angel's paranoia? No. Not fully convinced of what's on the other side. They're gonna fake this.
Yeah, just fake footsteps away. Yeah. More noise in mid too. This flash is gonna be a nice line.
Yeah. Pegang tuh ondel-ondel ya.
They've darted through the Hellspots has gotten 2. Kalenzine joining in on the fun. And Navi want none of it.
Ngebalap ini coy.
For Kalenzine gets him his ult too, so even if the kills didn't come in, if they got that sight, got a counter against the lockdown, and once again, Loud maintaining the tools that they need to really start to balloon.
Sugetsu meninggoy.
We're talking about 4 rounds on attack.
Sakit banget, si Les ini sakit anjing, lot ini jago-jago tembakannya.
I mean, Loud have so much money, I'm surprised they're not hunting more. Yeah, you guys are fun.
We found him. The Brazilians have arrived. Xiao finds 1-2. Will he find his life? Still in the next round, no.
And that's a last gun loss there.
And that was milliseconds too.
Yep.
You're right, that's a huge impact. Now
Dah, fuck lari-lari manja cuy.
Look at these entries. Quick from Aspas. And Angel's just wandering through that nade because it's not smoked. He thinks he's going to be able to get on the angle, and all of a sudden he's in a nade. He has to push forward in that case.
Trying to catch a timing. Perhaps an unexpected one. Certainly doesn't go his way. Navi still hanging on to a 2-round lead, but Loud have awoken. We talked about this fight mid and the value that Scenic could find. This time it's just a Marshall.
Where was Angel even standing there? I feel like he was on top of Dice.
Xiao has this really aggressive angle.
Yeah, off the
Upper
turret.
banget.
That's on his
Cok.
side too. That's going to take contact for him.
A lot of Loud members on the other side, but they're wise to it. They don't walk up dry. They flash the angle, and they get the space.
It's so interesting too here. I think they think that Navi might have forced up, so they're using the lockdown, but there's
kena tag.
behind this.
Meninggo itu harusnya. Kan?
Inches of his life and ultimately finds his demise nonetheless. How do Navi funnel out from this? Can they funnel out from this?
Look at Les, he's gotten all the way up market too. This is a flank possible, especially with this paranoia. He could even start to run if he wants to.
Yeah, but Angel's on a flank too. Angel's on a flank, CNED's playing up on switch.
And CNED thinks he's cleared close logs right now. Instead, it's a player in the market who can end everything.
Waduh, Les kunci nih.
By himself. First shot a little bit labored, but finally meets its mark. Meanwhile, Aspas joining in on it. Les with 2 on the round, the third around the wall. Sugetsu cleans it up. He's going to have to do it on his own.
Kill.
And yet again, Navi crumbles.
This Loud comeback on this half is ferocious. Feels much like we saw on Pearl, but with a little bit more of a kick to it. How have we got
Apakah real coy 6 sama?
And there's things that working that you remember from the iconic Ascent that Loud used to play consistently. Cowantine's Odin coming into effect as well. This last round is going to be interesting. Let's remember.
Wah, emosi tuh muke.
The different types of ults that have been up for so long. Sugetsu needs to find value out of his, but there's the Hunter's Fury up for Cowantine. Look at this op from Tui's instead of Aspas here. Attack side up. With the flash coming
I
in.
miss.
A missed shot. Angel lucky to get away with his life again.
Nggak ada apa-apa ya? Oh,
I
turretnya.
spot one up too as well. He's using all that bank. What is that?
I mean, when you've got that much money, it works. You see the paranoia out towards mid, trying to catch Angel, but he's going to push in front of it. Instantly tucks back, though. The ult out from Sada, but the swing out from CNED. Angel in a massive position to make an even bigger play.
Res coming up. Zip-on, can he try to deny? I love this from Aspas getting extra space, but
Jet.
can't get out now.
Waduh.
HP, he dashes back. Power in the Jet mobility.
It's crazy that all this has happened still. 40 seconds left. Loud can pivot anywhere they want to. Especially now that Sugetsu's down. There's no KJ util on that B site despite it looking on the minimap. And they're going to commit to this A
4 lawan 3
split.
ya?
Tui's has a crucial job to clear A main here. And that's what they're really careful of right now.
The timing
Apakah
on it is
Zipan?
funneling out without having fully cleared it. Maybe hoping to catch a timing on someone who might be there, but Zipan with 4 HP down in hell, trying to stay alive. 10 seconds left for them to get the spike down. And it's all
Sama real J.
Shao left in a 1v3.
Info TP to try to catch him, which dodges the knife, but they should know he's in tree.
I mean, Cowan's here with the Odin on the other side. Safety valves in place.
One way just at the perfect time.
Yeah, I mean.
One way-nya
Such a
ngeselin.
frustrating situation to be in as a player. To realize there is no wiggle room. There is no way to take an advantage. It's another round for Loud, and we're tied at 6.
6 sama Israel ya, ge.
An absolute shutdown at the end of this half.
Time to cumbak kah Laut.
It has given energy to the Loud fans. It has given energy into the players right now because they look in control for what feels like the first time fully in this series.
Oh, we got to think about the ferocious comeback they attempted to pull off in Pearl. It was not enough. Maybe this will be. Yinsu, take it away.
Thank you very much. Guys, we have a game on our hands. I got Mimi and Valen here with me, but let's take a look at the Verizon high-speed moment. This was actually the last round. The Navi won. After this, Mimi was all Loud.
Immediately after this Loud pause, they win 4 in a row. But this is a brilliant round from Navi. It starts with this nice preset flash haunt combo to take A main control. And then in the mid round, they push into mid and then use this fade ult as Loud are executing to decay them all and just win off of the spam. I thought Navi started out playing with this fade really well. They're showcasing why they play
Makan gua dari map 1 nggak sampai. Wah, enak beli makan. Lagu weh.
For Loud. Their
Nggak tahu mau makan apa nih.
so effective at turning these matches around.
Yeah, and I think what was talked about in that timeout, at least from what I see, is just slowing the game down. Oftentimes Loud was kind of rushing their executes or sometimes even playing too slow, but we saw their flow really set after that timeout. And there's a round after I can't wait to talk about because it was such good mid-rounding from Sodhawk, getting canceled on Cat with 30 seconds left and transitioning into this mid-B that was so perfect, and I think that's what gave them the momentum going into the half. But regardless, both IGLs have been playing very well actually right now, so it's exciting to see this battle continue.
Yeah, we do have a game on our hands, but also CNED versus Aspas on the Jet. We saw a little seeing both of their impact here, Mimi, on a sense.
We absolutely are. This was dominated by CNET to start, but Aspas has been waking up for Loud, and the energy is back. For the first time in so long, it feels for Loud. The fans are out in force for them. It feels like this might be their opportunity to turn this whole series around and keep the reigning champions alive here in Champs 23.
Yeah, I can't wait to see the second half. Navi, they don't usually start on the defense on this map internationally, so Doug and Bala, let's see what they got for us on the attack.
I mean, Yinsu, given how the map has played out, really the whole series, we know we're going to be in for a good time. 6-6 at half. Navi trying to stabilize, given the disaster of a close. They had to really clean up the first half of Ascent their ball.
This is as close as it can get. And now we flip. And Navi's attack sides can definitely have that same punch. But it's hit or miss in some instances. Look at CNET. He's been so active all series long. 2 maps where he has the ability to be that person for Navi. Shock dart off the turret possible. He fires it off anyway.
Masa iya PSP lagi, cuy?
Angel, again, I mean, this is what he does. He's first contact up mid while CNET holds his cat, really looking for something.
Which again, on most other teams, those roles are swapped.
Yes.
Right? It's CNET who's taking mid, who's trying to be first contact, but you have your controller or somebody else covering you, cat. But this is just the Navi way.
Yep. And oftentimes it leaves them without a smoke. There's smoke. Only a single one this round, by the way. They used it at the beginning of the round to work Angel into that position. Get that alarm bot down, get market control. And he's going to use it again.
Ini makan apa aja, cuy? Jangan 30 deh. Gak. Nggak mungkin 38 kilo, coy. Kasian. Terlalu gigi 38 kilo ya.
Pushing into this 2-player setup out from Loud. I love this from Sonic, just an aid to delay. Right? Not even interested in taking the fight, knowing how long Navi have burned the
Wah, keheveng dia.
It's going to be a bloodbath.
Chaos nih, chaos.
Chaos. The spike holders, of course, CNET swinging around trying to find one. He does.
Apa gue bilang?
It's just too much. It's just too much.
Apa gue bilang?
Smoke from Tui's too.
Tumbak Israel, cok.
And the read on the play from him, he TP'd back off of A main, gave it up when he realized the split was coming in, got back on site, gave a smoke so that Cowanzine can flood fight and save the players on site.
Kalian nggak percaya sih Tumbak.
Right here, look at this. That smoke, there's nobody able to shoot him at that point from A main.
Yeah, there's no shot.
And there's no control of the right side of the site that Navi's trying to go for.
Confusion.
Vamos!
Confusion in the face of Navi's IGL and elation out from Loud's coach as they take the lead. You see the buy for Navi, it's not great. They don't really invest a ton. 3 sheriffs. Light armor for CNET in this too.
This could be dangerous. And they're fighting cautiously. Off the turret again, really making sure Sugetsu doesn't get any space here. A lot of damage done. If I'm Navi here, you're looking to try to control some of these orbs, really start to stack up on them.
Oh, that hurt.
That's massive.
Sakit tuh, Dek, ya.
Talk about finding value. Xiao just went down and he was the healthiest one of the bunch.
Yeah. I mean, this much damage early in the eco round spells disaster for it. Really reduces the chances. So all these little chip damage setups that Cowanzine is playing on this site, working really nice.
Waduh.
More than just a chip there on Angel.
CNET's behind him at this point.
Waduh, CNET.
They might pull this off. CNET continue to be massive. Zipan's there to help. They've gotten out onto the site. They've left Sugetsu to control B.
That's a Bulldog too.
And that's where Sonic is going.
Sugetsu's completely unaware though.
He's got a classic. He's not healthy. I mean, he's dead. He's done.
Yeah, still though.
Bulldog for CNET, you're right.
And the flash as well from Zipon. So
bahaya nih Navi bisa menang.
Back sight though. And that knife cancels all of that.
And the paranoia, they go in behind it surely. You hear the nade out from Sadak. But that was a little shallow. I think that was intended to go backside. There's the flash. There's the swing. It's just one left. Can Sadak do it on his own? No! CNET with the...
How's that just happen there?
Waduh, kena egg, coy. Kenapa barusan anjing?
Just buying up a couple sheriffs. What is that?
And and I've got to go back to the opening in the round. You think about the shock darts
Ooh.
that came through from Kawanzin, all the damage that was dealt.
Yeah, how did they lose that round? And they even took down Angel. There's no smokes there.
What
The
the
elation for Fraud last
hell,
round, all of a
man?
sudden turning to frustration. Feelings echoed by the crowd right now too. Ooh. But they're gonna make an attempt at this. Les has a Vandal too. And instead, it's the Eco that's finding some value early on in this one.
On both sides, yeah. I ain't just so concerned of the potential push.
I mean, they already saw it once.
Yeah.
What do they do?
In
to
the
back it up?
miracle, na 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 na
Figures
na
powers.
na na na
Start with that
na.
hawk, clearing bottom mid. Angel's
Na,
gonna
na, na,
set
na.
up on Cat, insert himself. He has a Phantom. I don't think you want to go lurking by yourself.
Oh,
Wah,
man.
sakit
That's
bin eh.
Angel away. I thought he was going to do it.
Did anybody get suppressed there by that knife? No. Throwing cross map from Sadak. That is the cue for them to go.
Les has a
Eh,
Vandal
sakitnya
here.
utility semua lagi.
Aspas has shown up with the Marshall currently smoked off.
Big
Oh
dog.
my goodness, they're all lit up.
Meteor
And
apa,
he
Cok?
preserves life. They've got a shot at this. It might just all be Les, but that might be enough.
Wah, Re.
Turn
Woi!
flash looking for another and it connects.
Kena Iko lagi. Di-Ikoin balik.
If he wants to win this round. And he's certainly healthy enough to do it, but he does not have enough time.
Kena Iko lagi.
His way into the round as a MasterCard Thrifty comes through.
Busuk.
Back to back.
Dibalikin, manis.
Big rounds that should not be won. End up coming through. And we're staying as close as possible. Remember, after Loud won that pistol, that was the first lead they've had all series, and now again, bringing it back with that Thrifty round win.
And it wasn't in the kills, but the setup from Kawazin was insane.
And they bolstered their economy, so absolutely. These little things. He gets his Odin online, and they get the op online for Aspas. Let's see if he can start hitting.
Yes, he
Ooh,
can.
Aspas is back.
He's gonna get a shot at a second. His dashing into his lap. He's trying to take the fight to him.
Head-to-head coming to full fruition there. CNED looking to punish. I like taking the risk on that. Again, hero buy from Navi in this instance. 2 rifles bought up, sheriffs from the rest.
Woi!
Long range.
What the fuck, 145? Dia light shield tuh. Harusnya 145 loh yang gitu-gitu.
Another nice counter. Just 2 rifles left on the side of Navi. And one of them just hit the floor.
Drone perfectly timed as well. Does it clear market? Yes, Kawanzin too aware. And in other times, CNED might have his dash to dash on that drone, but instead has to be cautious with this one.
And the spike's gonna make its way
Harusnya
out on the side.
145 ya yang gitu-gitu.
Ooh, that's a great haunt
Ooh.
to ping Aspas. Could have been value there for CNED. But he goes the
Light
wrong
shit
way
itu
and leaves
Vix.
Shao in a 1v4.
Vix.
Even with the information gathered from his utility, and you have no armor. A 1v4, the
busuk.
flash around. He's got to take a step back,
Busuk.
spam through the wall. As Loud get another. And that gets us one step closer
Ente
to
banget.
map 3.
Half armor. Jadi bos soek dong kalau begini
Seemed
dang.
like Loud has found the state of mind, of emotion, of strategy to end up feeling like that team, that top team of America's, the winner of America's, runner-up at lock-in. For Sadak, for Les, for Aspas, the champs of last year. I think Angel feels this kind of slipping right now. I think the signs should have been shown way earlier in this game.
PRX kuat. Sumpah. PRX yang di Tokyo aja ya, main pakai sigaret ya. Menurut gue itu latihannya ya terbatas gitu. Tapi 3-2 cuy lawan EG. Jadi gue optimis. Kalau udah pakai something ya, GG Gaming cok tembakan-tembakannya pasti.
They've taken so much space towards garage already, and they've inserted Aspas with the op.
Real ini mah.
Oh,
How's he even getting that?
Kelihatan? Mampus. Kelihatan, Cok.
And the turret's faced the wrong way.
A costly mistake.
What's even going on there?
Either way, Navi having to find success
Lah
in
iya,
space elsewhere.
Nggak tahu ada turretnya, kenapa?
CNET exploring mid. They're going to try to split the side up, the map up as best as they can. That's a clean shot onto Les. You've got Aspas on the other
Whoa,
side.
what
Charles
the
Nettington,
fuck?
what was that?
He didn't even stop. Didn't use counter strafes at all.
No, he scooped up the op too.
What the fuck, man? Kalau Perez menang champion gokil banget, makanya. Gokil, coy.
Still very doable here from the side of Loud.
Seneng sih gue jadi teman.
They have the resources.
Oh, that dart clears all of sight. It's only one on site at Shao.
Surely you get spammed, right? Yeah, you're dead.
And now they know about the rest. What's going on here? Angel's gonna peek out.
Ill-advised. I mean, Cena trying to hold one side, but there's too much pressure coming in.
Dibilang apa?
Blades, does he pop him?
Do they know where he is?
Does he go?
Somewhere else?
Does he go? The op shot misses. The blades get popped and it's too late. Loud stabilize.
Ngapain tuh? Itu ngapain?
Somehow, some way, they ended up baiting.
Anjing, Perez yang juara, kenapa gue yang botak, setang?
But CNET does not have that info. And so he plays differently.
Gak enak di gua dong.
What Loud was expecting. And he makes some noise backside.
Kalau gua dapat percikan-percikan manja sih sabi, coy.
I wonder if like a knife or something didn't spot him. Because it definitely felt like nobody.
Mampus dimarahin sama bapak-bapak. Tolol lu. Mau gua cekek lu kata dia, ha? Mikir. Hah? Begituin tuh. Sama Angel, ya? Emosi lo Angel lo.
On Valorant's biggest stage of the year, Navi find themselves down. Feeling Loud establish control.
This is ridiculous. What? What is that?
Wait, where's the spoon? Is there a spoon?
Hey!
Hey, that's the last time out from Navi too.
Yeah. I mean, we're getting down to it. I'm not sure if Loud's going to allow this to go the same way that Pearl went, as close as possible.
Dude, look at the timeline. I mean, even going back into the previous half.
Yeah, they've activated, man. This is the type of stuff we saw constantly in the Americas League. A new level, a new notch for Loud. They constantly were losing maps where it felt like they shouldn't have, and they looked bad on, and then all of a sudden they turned it on and look like gods in the next. But it's not off the back of Aspas or anything like that.
No.
Aspas still kind of slow in this game. Finally finding value out of the op, though, in multiple rounds and looking for it again.
And honestly, when you're trying to put together a championship run, that's what you want.
It's looking like Navi want to full send on this A site without any information elsewhere on the map. As soon as this smoke fades, it's time to go.
First smoke. Sadak, that nade is going to cause a little bit of trouble, but Cenet's already out. Angel has joined him, using him like a duelist.
Spike down A.
I'm looking for the timing of these no commands and the lockdown. Sadak up close. He might have just
Aduh, apa yang kelewatan nih, cuy? Gua habis masak, kocak. Apa? Rebus telur. Wah, GG, coy. Gila. Cuma dikasih satu tag-nya. Busuk manja dong kalau gindang. Bocil Navi mana coy? Turu manja gak manis. Gila. Jago anjing Sadak ini. Sumpah gua rindu banget. Ada Pankada, Sachi, sumpah dah. Itu lot itu GG, Cok. Yang lot yang itu. Lot itu GG. Ah, lihat nih. Hah? Hah? Woi. Kok tiba-tiba? Lah.
A ferocious 2K from both. Kawanzin left alone.
Tiba-tiba mati 4 coy.
Be able to upgrade a weapon. It's just the Odin.
That's as upgraded as you can.
Yeah, I guess it is the best gun in the game. 13 seconds to his dart. He's gonna have to wait a little bit longer.
And you saw that brief decision there. The knight spots him.
Yeah.
He can either go back up heaven, which is maybe what they expect, or go back here.
The nade to dissuade. Zipman, no idea. Assassination style. He tries to snap on the second.
Ay,
Shao saves the day with 3.
Add Zip onto the mix there. Yeah, his back was turned, but it was what felt like safely watched there from Shao down in dark. What is this? Like, how did this turn around? We thought for sure they were cleaning this up.
Oh my gosh, he almost got that 3rd.
Oh.
Tui's and Sadak were hungry running down Cat.
Yeah.
They didn't actually need that.
Anjir,
Yes,
kalau
Sadak got
gitu
1
dah.
kill, but it felt like Les and Aspas were enough in mid. Instead, they throw all their lives away. We're back into
Akan
it.
menahirna.
We've seen their willingness to start really hitting these sites. And they've got the ults to do it.
I think on the defensive side too, interesting to note, Sadak bought a judge, and it's not from lack of money.
Wah, split B.
This is the play they want to make.
Oh, Zipon just used his ult. That suppresses almost everybody on the map. There's no KJ util left. Loud did not go for an anti-KJ.
And that's the important one. You imagine
Wah,
they're just
gila
taking
lu ya.
up the space and trying to play retake because of the ults that they have. Les has to stay alive. Gets away.
Oh, lockdown invested, but they're in the site anyway, so that's no longer going to be a factor. Now they have to play anti-lockdown from Les. And that's difficult when Sadak has his own no command, but only a judge from it with 5K.
That knife from Zipman just hit Les, so they're going to have to wait even longer.
Well, Loud still have to do the first step, which is take over the front of site. Now they
Berapa
can
tuh?
back site because he does it from spawn.
3 yang kena.
NAVI may have everything they could possibly want. And they've got Sugetsu swinging around. They're going to have to deal with him, and he's just baiting them out, man. Using himself.
Ah, pusing tembakan apaan tuh?
Drawing attention. But it may not be enough. They've gotten their way out. It's going to be a 2v2 Sonic upgrading a weapon. Zipan trying
Go
to
kill.
Flick almost lands. Shao needs to be clutch. He needs to cause problems, and he does! Shao with the Red Bull clutch against Navi 9.
There's
What
no way.
the fuck? Ini game apa, Jack?
There's just no way. Aspas dropped his up, picked up a judge. It was the perfect weapon.
Udah benar loh, tapi Aspas nyabun, Jing.
Get the kills. How does he not get that on a Shao? He's literally in his smoke, as close as you can be.
I mean, I would have loved to have seen Aspas POV there.
No time for that. Back in this right away.
Loud still hanging on to a 2-round lead. Sadak still with his ult. And the Opera Aspas currently playing mid.
These death balls have been much better for Navi than any of their defaults.
Yeah.
And they're still sticking to it, but a lot less ults.
The money for them isn't great either.
Whoa!
It's beautiful.
Value, and that is gorgeous.
We've seen that before from Navi. Just getting the spam off the mini-map there with the ult. It's just so perfect. And Angel's not even risking his life there.
I mean, they're essentially using it as a
Nungguin dari tadi ngeluarin foto show time.
Just crazy.
What do Loud do here? Navi trying to hang on. They have 4 members on site.
Yeah.
Just Sugetsu playing off. And the knife tagged him. So they should know where he is.
Anjing Sugetsu ini coy. Waduh, busuk retake pakai AWP mah.
That nade is going to cause some problems. Seen it down to 38 HP and he's dealt with.
Gila, Sadak sih jago loh.
Remember, you still have to deal with Sugetsu. And now he finds the right moment to strike. The barrage of bullets not connecting.
Hah?
But Loud finding space. Angel having to clutch for Navi. And he's not going to do it. Loud's going to get the defuse.
Cox!
They're going to get to map point. Oh, baby.
Oh, baby!
How often are we seeing these Loud retakes? I mean, outside of that 1v2 from Shao moments ago, these Loud retakes look impossible, yet they still get down to that final member down the line. And eventually it's going to connect, even though Navi...
One more! Ada yang bilang one more.
Old comfort here with this default. It's not going to be fast.
And it's not going to be ferocious either. Look at their buy. Just one rifle.
It's shambles. That is an absolutely broken buy.
Anjil, Sheriff doang cok.
Too, not one of the entries, not CNED, and not Angel. I don't know how he's in that category, but he is.
Not their second duelist.
He gets a kill anyways, top mid onto Aspas.
Well, hold up.
Was he jump spotting there?
That was the big one. Can they do it with odds
itu matinya di mana? Kete.
Where statistics say you shouldn't be able to pull this off.
Remember, on Pearl, they were on a low buy too, and they closed out that match.
Can they defy those expectations as Sugetsu gets another?
I mean, never doubt putting your faith into Sugetsu in these moments, but that's the spike there, and Sugetsu not able to trade.
TP-nya serem.
Tui's calm on it, able to
another kill,
but he falls.
Wah, dipantekin Sao.
Ace his way into this.
Smoke behind to cover up their tracks. Les is hot on them though.
Wah, ditutup pintunya.
Kawanzin showing up, he has dart, he has 2 shocks. Odin still in play.
Weapons finally recovered for other players too.
Well, just Angel at this point. Les, what?
Wah, gila. Ace!
The ace on the card.
Ace!
As the crowd tries willing him there. Kawanzin left by himself, just the Odin.
Don't forget, this was a round Navi was basically saving. They forced up with almost nothing. And Sugetsu with a hero Vandal gets all 4 kills. And he's not going to be given the opportunity. Although I think he heard him chase him down right now. He's running into mid.
He's gone hunting. He wants it. Kawanzin wise not to repeat. He grabbed the op. He's able to carry it into the next round. I mean, that's huge.
That's huge.
Everything. In an instance where we've just seen
That's huge.
hero plays. All attention goes to the stars.
Oof.
All attention goes to players like Aspas to close this game out. If that's what it's going to take, that's what it's going to take. What a round.
Yeah, Sugetsu looking to become the main character. And with a round like that, he very well may.
Look at this peak. Aspas wants it. He wants to take the fight fast. And even though we've been deathballing towards B as Navi, they have been exploring mid in a few of these instances.
This is so bold. This is so bold. You have 2Es above from top cat.
There's nobody playing on B site right now because they're all supporting Aspas going for this kill. Lockdown now. Potentially, yeah, it's up.
The duel's gonna come through. Aspas looking the wrong way, but the snap on his Ziban is good.
Gokil flicknya.
And this is the problem with deathballing. Whenever you want to pivot, whenever you're not getting enough information for you to send it, you have to re-clear so much.
I mean, you're blind.
And that's why Loud is going for that play in the first place.
Complete lack of awareness and a desperate need for reconnaissance to find out what else is going on.
But hero plays have been made. They're going to hit this site 4 versus 3.
Can Navi stay alive?
Sadak has his ult right now with 37 seconds. He's not popping it for some reason.
Patience on it. There it is.
Wah, dihancurin nih sama Sadak.
Lockdown to buy time.
Sadak main sendiri nih kan.
Again, burning the clock.
They forgot about the lockdown!
Sadak clears it out.
How do they get in now?
I don't think they can. It's just 3 left. There's still 2 members of Loud on site. And in very Navi fashion, they burn the clock all the way down.
Wah, bisa plan anjing.
Too soon. Less than 2 is the youngster stay alive, but Sugetsu with another massive play.
Wah.
Can 2's 1v2 to take us
The
to
fuck,
bind.
man.
2's creeping around, keeping his position quiet, keeping his
Apa yang terjadi pada si Laut?
He's coming for it though.
2's spotting just an elbow of the first, closing the door, baiting the fight.
He might get half off that no.
No, it's just a tap. The door's been broken. 2's in a seemingly impossible situation. He's already gotten 1, waiting for the swing on the second. The turret, 7 bullets. Will it be enough? They don't connect. They don't connect. And Sugetsu's just gonna be able to spam his way through. Oh my gosh, no, not like this. He pushes out. He's already gotten it to half. It's a whirling dervish. He gets the kill, but the defuse is not gonna come
Gila. Si Tuisnya keluar. Sugetsunya masuk, Jing.
And we've got to watch that round from Sugetsu's POV again. What is going on with this guy? This is why the lockdown falls behind him. He stays in the position and gets that shot on Aspas, then finds this follow-up too.
Gila.
And he's the final 1v1 too. That is crazy.
What on earth?
Remember when I said I thought for sure Loud was going to be able to not let this slip like Navi did?
Right, yeah.
And here we are. Final timeout of the game and final round of regulation.
Apakah 13-11 yang kedua, cuy?
We found ourselves here. For Danny, for Fraud calling the last timeout prior to the last round of regulation. And this is where you reach into the very depths of your playbook. Nothing left out there. A desperately needed round to potentially take us to bind.
A ridiculous situation in front of us right now. Because Loud feels more pressure to close this map out than Navi did in that first one.
I mean,
if they let it slip, they're out.
Their years on the line, you're right.
They don't get to play another. Or Navi. Yes, they want to close it out, but they get another chance if they lose this one.
The dart to set up Aspas, the turret cleared.
Meanwhile,
there's already aggression towards A.
The fact that they've stopped this is a huge success point here for Loud, because they were trying to fake a little bit more of a default setup going here, and they wanted to pop on it.
And they stopped it with 2 players on the side.
And that smoke took a long time to actually go down from Tui's as well. Still going to set up for the execute now that Sugetsu's joined them. They have this fatal.
CNET has a judge. A judge in Blades.
Oh, he could easily make something happen with that.
Oh, Sonic's ahead of it!
He has a judge too!
What a play from the leader! But Angel on the counter. A 4v4, his kills go back and forth. Tit for tat, he's gonna try to
Whoa!
Tui's falls. Less on the swing. It's all Sugetsu, he's been a hero. My goodness, he's
GG 13-11.
happen again. We turn attention to bind.
Tarararat, 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 tarararat. Turu dek, siapa yang turu?
Honestly, given how it's gone, I feel like we would have been robbed if that had not been the case. We're gonna throw it to a break.
Salah pencet, Jing. Turu dek. Pantai lagi bunuh orang sini. Lanjut kalau game 3 lanjut. Tapi FUT31 enggak gua. Jadi Loud yang menang ya? Game 3 manja cuy. Kita style lagu kita, cok. Pa 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 pa. Anai Oh, we wanna stay the night. Gua ke bawah bentar cuy.
Bands and make her dance. Bands and make her dance. Bands and make her dance. Yeah. Short mind like leave alone. Loose one, she don't need a loan. Start twerking when she hear a song. Stripper pole her income. We get trippy and then some. So nasty when she rollin'. She put that ass off in my hands. I remote control it. She give me down when the roof gone. At the KOD, she leave with me. She got friends. Bring 3. I got drugs, I got drink. Bend it over. Juicy J gon' poke it like wet paint. You say no to ratchet pussy. Juicy J can't. Racks everywhere. They showing racks, I'm throwing racks. In the VIP, rubber on, I'm stretching that. Rich niggas tipping, broke niggas looking. And it ain't a strip club if they ain't showing pussy. Bands to make her dance. Bands to make her dance. All these chicks popping pussy. I'm just popping bands. Bands to make her dance. Bands to make her dance. These chicks clapping and they using hands.
A lot of that great calling came from going back to comfort. This is why I was molding so much when they were trying to
Yang menang siapa kira-kira ya?
Because their mid-round decision making with this default comp,
Laut
I think
sih
they just
menurut gua.
understand it so well that even against other teams
Percaya
that
nggak, Cuy?
rate a descent like Navi,
Laut
they're
manja,
still
Cuy.
coming out on top so consistently.
Yeah, the crazy thing is normally when Shao is on form, when Sugetsu is on form, when they're just clutching back to back to back to back to back rounds, they win. But today that did not happen, Mimi, because the same thing was happening on the side of Loud. Les, Kawa, Aspas, every single one of them stepped up huge.
Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous that this didn't come out because of those clutches you're mentioning, but a big part of that, and I think the player who really propelled that comeback into being is Les, who's been so consistent for this team. I think the comparison between him and Sugetsu is so apt, because they're both the players that no matter the situation, no matter what they're playing, no matter what the map is, they're always putting up numbers, winning these late rounds for their team, and propelling them into these comebacks, as we saw here.
Yeah, talking about propelling them into the comebacks, Les was the one who who force bought the rifle after getting ecoed, and he held down B getting a 3K. Like, you can't ask for more from this player. You lose the eco in such a tragic way. How do you do so much chip damage and somehow lose the B bomb site? He says, nope, I'm not losing this game. Buys the rifle on his own and just holds down the site. So he's the one who boosted them into this momentum on defense, and I would say Sadhawk was the one who boosted them in the attack.
Yeah, pure confidence there from them. But for Na'Vi, though, we're seeing a little bit of tilt and a little bit of a emotion from them. You know, CNED, Angel, we saw some death slams as well that was going on. And Mimi, in situations like this, you don't really expect Na'Vi to be a team that get overly emotional, so I'm a little bit surprised with this.
Yeah, you were talking at the beginning of the day, Val, that you didn't think either of these teams would really be feeling that pressure, would be tilting it all today, because they've been in situations like this so many times. But I think we do see from Na'Vi that there is that pressure on them, that players will get animated at times, and I think that's a good thing you can channel into momentum, but also something that can get the better of you in these high-pressure situations, especially going into Bind as our third map.
Yeah, really, as a player, if you're in a close game, it's very hard to just keep it super stable, right? You're in back
and it makes it even more impressive that Loud did, despite those rounds you're talking about, like losing the eco, being down on your best map. It's impressive that they were able to.
Yeah, I think it's because they were just winning so many rounds in a row that regardless of one fluky round, they knew at the back of their mind that they had the grasp on Na'Vi and that they were going to go to map 3.
I mean, also Na'Vi, they had to play against this crowd as well. The Loud fans, once the momentum started to get going, they were really cheering and getting behind their teams, which is also not an easy thing for Na'Vi to go up against as well.
Yeah, no, the crowd has been electrifying. I would say you guys got to step up when they're down too, though. You know, help them out when they're down. But Loud started to win and collect rounds and kind of gain momentum, and the crowd was on their side too. So Na'Vi is facing 2 opponents, really.
Yeah, and with the energy behind them, that I wanted to kind of start to talk about this third map, because I have no idea what to expect for Na'Vi. I thought the early stage of this map will look solid for them, especially after winning Pearl. I expected this to be a 2-0.
Makan cuy.
But now we go to a Bind where this Na'Vi squad, they've tried playing Yor, they've tried playing Neon, they've tried playing Sage.
Kalian semua bet aja Loud. Kalau Navi yang menang gacor dong lu. Kalau lu bet Navi. Lah bang.
6 different times they played this map, 5 different comps. Like Mimi
Kenapa?
said, they've been throwing everything into this, and Valen, so far none of it has worked. They're not winning with these experiments they've been doing.
Yeah, right. I mean, for one, it's hard for them to pick a comp, but also for that's tough to deal with as well. I mean, the head coach has a headache, probably up all night watching all the different comps that Na'Vi could pull out today. You really don't know what to expect, right? And as a coaching staff, as players, that's kind of tough because there's so many different things you can be thrown at you, so you have to prepare for all of it. And I'm excited to see how Loud is going to deal with that, not knowing what to expect from Na'Vi.
Yeah, and for the side of Loud, I am really, really excited to see them play on this map. They were playing this chamber composition with Sadhawk locking it in, which sounds strange to begin with. You'd normally expect Aspas on that one, but he was so good on it in America. So many creative setups, but it's been a while as well for Loud since they've played this map. So there is a chance that they've come up with something new, that they have changed their composition, as we've already seen on 2 of the maps in this series.
I feel like we've been spoiled there. That didn't look like a chamber.
I was about to say that was not
bandages instead of, like, you know, the typical chamber thing, but we won't speculate. I mean, we'll carry on speculating without getting spoiled, because like you said, you don't know what to prepare for on the side of Loud, but the issue is the reason that Na'Vi keep changing comps is because they're not winning with whatever it is they're trying. So even if it's difficult to prepare for, I feel like Loud still seem like they're going to come out on top on Bind specifically.
Yeah, at the end of the day,
apa kata Yinsu tuh Loud ya.
To prepare for. In the back of your mind, you're like, ah, this team hasn't really been good on this map. If we play our game, if that's their mindset, then they should be able to win this.
And remember the stakes here, right? Na'Vi, they won in Copenhagen. They've taken tournaments before. They were always the second best in EMEA, fighting for more than just that. They've had a tough 2022, but so has Loud. You're back-to-back champions, finalists in Lock-In, winners of Americas. To see either of these teams go out this early in Champions would honestly be unthinkable, but one of them has to. On map number 3 here, the pressure is truly on for all of these players.
I mean, judging by how map 1 and map 2 has gone so far, it's gonna be a close one. You know, we're not really quite finding either team being particularly dominant on either of the maps we've seen. So I'm feeling an overtime. I feel like we're
bound, right? 2 13-11s back to back. It's overtime, 14-12 here, right?
Yeah, it has to be. It really does have to be. And for the preparation element as well, I think a lot of this might come down to the on-the-fly.
Seru tuh cuy kalau misal OT-OT.
They've honestly
Sumpah.
both performed so well this series. Angel had one of those games on map number 1 where he was his
Cara pulangnya OT-OT. Biasanya kalau match OT-OT tuh pasti ada orang yang kepikiran dah, sumpah. Yang ngide, yang kalah clutch. Bisa gitu tuh kalau OT.
And I'm sure you as an IGL who's been in matches like this before knows how difficult that is to pull it off at the level these two guys have been able to do.
Yeah, definitely. But I also think it's the battle of the hot starts right now, because map number 2 was going highly in the favor of Navi, but like you talked about adaptation, Loud was able to adapt in live situation down 6-1 and kind of crawl it back together, understand the pacing they have to play at in order to tear down Navi and open up the bomb site. So I think just like in a map like Bind, sometimes the fast pace doesn't work and you have to kind of go back to your slow play, like inserting people into showers, going back into B and then splitting, kind of taking more map control instead of just the fast rushes right away. So it really just depends on how fast you can start and if your quick plays will work, and if not, you have your fallback options of, okay, we got to play slow now. Can we just manipulate and push pull the rotations and kind of end somewhere together?
I think the good news for Navi is that their star players are always winning them rounds are on form. We're seeing peak Xiao, peak Sugetsu, they're cold, they're clutching out of their minds. So I feel like, I mean, on map 1 on Pearl, we saw them get over the line in that fashion. I think they were a little bit unlucky perhaps towards the end on Ascent, not to take it to OT. But if Xiao and Sugetsu are doing what they did on Ascent, on Bind, I don't know. I think it's not going to be as easy as it seems for Loud.
Yeah, I'm also really hoping, talking about players getting into form, to see Aspas in form. It feels like it's been a while since we've seen that Jet in Americas who was just dominating in every sense of the world. He was far and away the best player regionally. He was really the MVP of Champions last year, probably a top 5 player, if not higher than that, at lock-in as well. But it seems like in these last two
Sinet abis cuci muka ngantuk dia tadi, Cok.
And against the Sinet, who's actually been so good today, I think that's going to be really important this map.
Yeah, real possibility that
Abis ketiduran dia tadi kayaknya tuh. Cuci komuk dia. Real nggak Jay? Real.
Have any changes from either side? Which comps they're going to be moving and bringing to us? And we do have changes. And Navi are going to run the
triple controller Omen Brim. I have never seen that one before.
I have.
What?
I used to run this back in the days on Bind. They were very, very
Omen Brim Viper.
Coming back on through. Loud, it seems like
what? Loud? Real.
What I think this can bring is you get the paranoia from the Omen. You can have really strong retakes.
New meta incoming from Loud.
Yeah, so what I would point out definitely is the Omen pick, especially Sadhawk being on those other agents like KO and Breach. He's going to be like a pseudo initiator where he has these smokes to make space, but also the paranoia for retakes and getting into the
Cok buru mulai, Cok, gue pengen makan.
As like a controller / initiator player, and I think he's going to be very aggressive on this Omen role.
He can also act as kind of a second dive agent, teleporting into his own smokes to help with the entry. It's going to be so cool to see what Loud have cooked up. But Navi on the other side, also double duelists. CNED's back on Neon for elimination at Champions. These comps are going to be insane.
Well, this is it. It is do or die. No more second chances. Let's find out which team is going to be progressing to playoffs. Over to you, Doug and Bola.
Thank you so much, into Los Angeles. We've been blessed with a banger here at the Shrine, and the good thing is we still have one map to go. Elimination on the line for both of these teams, and with that, again, the end of the year. There's nothing left. This is it.
What a way to go to this Neon comp from Navi, and then a triple controller comp from Loud. I mean, what is that? I agree with Sue. I've seen this before, but not in a stakes like this. This is crazy. 10 seconds till the pistol round starts. Let's get this party started. One more map. Shrine, let me hear you.
Loud starting off on attack, all attention turn towards A. And they're quick with it.
And you can already see some impact with this extra smoker here from Sadak throwing up top truck.
Sumpah, Navi itu dari zaman dulu susah banget lawan Loud. Ini aneh-aneh soalnya.
It's all just green and gray and everything smoked, everything covered. Tui's finding space in showers, Les finding space on site, and Loud finding the round.
Sumpah guys, jago banget, Cok.
Moment where the smokes fade. They find clarity.
Tuh.
ridiculous clap back after it looked like they were gonna fail.
Sumpah nih orang
Pushed out that repush through.
underrated tapi jago anjir sebenarnya. Dari dulu dia zaman main chamber jago sebenarnya.
At any point, any of these controllers can turn into lurkers. I know. Valen on the desk was talking about how it's a pseudo. You could be it's a pseudo initiator, and I fully agree. But
semuanya di one tap manja manis.
TP plays going. What is going to be the play here? Les with the fast molly to keep Angel and Shao contained down in Garden. And that forces Angel to TP out. I think the molly might have missed actually there. Shao got out really easily.
Whoa. Oh, the other one from Sadak is massive. Sipan making a run at this round though with the Sheriff.
I think with losing CNET and Angel though, these are the guys
ini akan menjadi GG Gaming cuy.
with those light buy rounds that Navi was getting outside of the hero rifle rounds.
Gokil ini.
Sugetsu. I do love how Loud played this 3-1-1 default. 3 players going up long, they get that control of Octagon, and then they have only Tui's watching the back of Sand. That's covering Les's flank. And Sadak deep watching bathroom too. It's a perfect anti-eco play. No pushes allowed.
Busuk ketahuan.
There's a little something. If they manage to get through Aspas with the Phantom though, just overwhelms Sugetsu. And that nade hurts. He tried pushing through it to catch a timing, but just not going to be the case. Aspas gets 3 as Loud gets.
Jadi keinget momen Sao kagak ngepick ya gara-gara lo ya. Di Divis 2 lawan 2.
Not seeing too often throughout this season. In some cases been pigeonholed onto Neon and other things that you definitely wouldn't put to his name prior to this year.
No.
It's been the same thing for CNET too.
Yeah, in a lot of ways.
And that's why you see him playing this Neon right now. There's not really a place for him to be comfortable on this. So they use him for the extra stuns, fast flanks.
And very quickly, if I may, I know that Aspas just got a bunch of kills, but Les is currently sitting at 4-0.
Yeah.
The guy's just been on a heater.
And look at that one way from Sadak. He can take this fully by himself. Very interesting, given the fact that he was trying to do this when he was playing Chamber on this map.
Wah anjing ngeselin sih.
Tokyo. And during the Americas playoff, he gets a trap play sprung at him though. He can TP out of this, no problem.
Oh, the Trailblazer, they're hunting.
Ngeselin sih.
Further back, but he just created so much space off of the TP that they can't follow.
And look at this, they have such an abundance of smokes that Tui's just uses one to put him in it.
Dia main sendiri. Gila ini smoke coy. Bagi-bagi telur. Comot aja Palabani. Gua habis comot dari Palabani.
Another opener onto Aspas too. Now 2 away from the showstopper in round 3. I mean, they're all lined up in towards short. You've got Angel who's close by though, cleaning up the first. Kawanzin falls. Aspas waiting for the challenge.
Wow, Angel is back coy. Terakhir Angel gacor sih pas lawan Liquid.
But they still have the utility of Les that they can play around.
Tumali's time is taken away, but they're going to get pushed here very fast. So will he be able to get those off, and will they make a difference? Because I don't see an orb on the spike.
Les has to be cautious. He gets the first, tries to snap onto the second. Angel with 3 on the round 2. He's swinging for it.
Not half.
Spotting one more. Shao's going to have to pick up the work that was not accomplished. He's got
Nicolo Clutch.
the way. He's just going to be able to stick it the whole time. Angel was the protection of 4K as Navi get on the
Susah anjir nge-clutch kayak gitu. Harus naik ke atas.
In a moment where they lose advantage early, Loud instantly getting that first pick down short with, well, not instantly, it was belabored from Aspas to come through.
Kecuali dia swingnya dari bawah.
Holds the line.
Karena dia harus loncat.
He was rotating off in that instance. That's huge for Navi to continue to maintain that pace, because on Ascent, Loud was 17-7 in first kills to first deaths.
That's outrageous.
Yeah, it was
17-7.
It was still a 13-11. 17-7.
That's mad.
Udah jam nyebat manja dia barusan itu.
See them continue to convert when they lose the man advantage. Because it's free
Angel.
like at this point. Sadak using both smokes to really creep up on CNET right now. The one way to force him off the angle, and then as well smoking the front of bathroom so he can just freely walk up. That's a free orb if he wants.
And Aspas on the other side of the map too, with his showstopper now active.
Scout destroyed.
It's going to be really tough to actually activate this trap.
Dan ngeselin nih.
And NAVI wants to play on Sadak because of the TP.
I mean, imagine you try to drop the wall in that situation, but no. Sadak was playing behind it. So you get to feeling some of the pressure. Utility goes instantly back up, and there's CNED. Was patient in showers, finds success.
The fact that he disrespects the smokes is very important there from CNED too. Using the utility from Shao to help that goal and that mission.
Gila, gameplaynya jadi lucu gitu anjir. 3 smoke.
The spike is, so that's another
30 seconds
8
left.
seconds. They won't be able to execute.
I don't know that they're going to find much here with Aspas' ult either. Does he dare clear below him? No, he doesn't! Sugetsu drops him from below!
Yo,
control what's happening in Hookah, and so far not good. 13 seconds left, though the spike is not in
Apaan tuh,
hand.
man?
I mean, Tui's is alive, but he can't get to it.
Yeah, it's top Hookah. No chance at all. And that's massive from Sugetsu there. I don't even know how he hits that. That's a vertical flick on a flying raise with the satchels. It's got to be a disgusting flick.
Yeah.
Or he's just pre-aiming up.
Yeah.
It's really hard to give yourself the space in those instances where you actually control and pre-aim properly. No. Ooh, it's kind of a messed up satchel there from Aspas. No speed on that. Trying to get the shot fired out on spawn too. Losing Sadak there might have been an impact. Maybe they actually needed his smokes. I doubt it, but either way.
Because they have so many more.
This is an eco from Loud now. Shotgun bought up from Kalanzine. Aspas with still a hero rifle. That was saved in the last run, but given to Aspas.
How do they manage the disadvantage? Loud with very little to fight back with here, as you were just saying. Ult for less and for Tui's.
There's a stun possible at any point with this Trailblazer. It's missed though.
That could have been disaster, but they're going to try to crunch. They're going to try to crunch. Angel's going to swing it from door with the utility out.
What the fuck?
With his ult, though. Angel getting it with
Iko disiksa coy.
Meanwhile, they lose
Laut,
control.
Iko disiksa coy pakai ulti.
Gonna potentially give up a spike plan. No, there's a spam.
Oh, he was not deep enough.
That smoke gives so much room there for that to happen. Sadak needs to be a lot more careful.
CNED looking to be more electric with the finger guns and scale up in a position you wouldn't be expecting. Pit still in play.
Wah.
Kalanzine with the Bucky. Going aggressive. I mean, if they can continue to play around the pit, they're going to have a shot at this.
Wah, bagus banget posisi dia. Wow!
That's another. Sugetsu's on his own.
Tawan Jin sering nonton streamnya gua nih kayaknya.
He's been so clutch. He's gotten it down to 1. And it's the most difficult one to deal with.
Sering nonton live-nya gua dulu.
So tough. Once that Viper's pit goes down inside of lamps, you have room to work through lamps in the backside.
Real ini cuy.
Worm your way around everywhere, and with that shotgun from Kalanzine blazing the path, Les has so much room to play off
Iya,
the
benar.
trade and play backside there, where you really think that he's going to be playing laps off mollies or something else. And remember, that was a light buy there from Loud.
Yeah, 1 rifle.
Why did that reaction look so fake? With the slow-mo and everything.
Early defensive hit from Navi and the swing out from Angel. Wanting
Wow. Dia diusir, dia yang bunuh coy.
Again, an opener from the leader. You talk about feast or famine. I mean, he's been dining on Loud for the last couple of hours.
It's interesting too, Kalanzine was actually doing a good job staying alive as the initiator. Another trap.
Whoa.
To force him out, and Angel just TPs, and he's safe with that wall. It's always able to go up from Sugetsu.
Yeah, he's out of the play though, and that's going to allow Loud a lot of room to work. The orbital strike back sight to clear things out, and you wanted to push CNED into a space where he had to take the fight. Les still falls, but Tui's on the counter.
The showstopper came out while CNED was fighting. This is holding space for Zip on there.
They've got to be careful. Aspas and Sadak are the only 2 that remain, and Sugetsu's on the flank. He's got him crunched in, and if he takes
Wah, ini seru sih jujur.
they have to go forward. Sadak has ult, he could maybe
Seru cok, tim ini cok.
be left alone. Trying to clear backside. Aspas falls.
Ketat mulu anjing.
By himself. So many angles to consider, so many things to clear, and just none of them found.
Shao coming in from the rear at the end there.
Ini baru cok. Nggak ngantuk.
What is that, man?
He just had no chance. That's
And this right here, where CNET is fighting, that's completely giving and holding space for Zipan to come through with that showstopper. And then the smoke from Angel still finding value, even though remember.
Apa Amanis? Ya dong.
Despite losing that light buy round from Loud, Navi still in the driving seat. They forced that situation out once again. And Loud are really not having many more ideas than this initial default that Sadak has taken actually a lot more space this time against CNET. Neither side changing up the plan at all.
No. I mean,
Apa nih orang tiba-tiba?
I get it.
Nice flash though.
No real confirmation that the plan doesn't work. CNET, Tokyo drifting around the corner and cleaning up Sadak. No real chance there.
Super interesting that they don't pounce off that flash from Sadak, because it's perfectly positioned against the Navi players, but they still weren't comfortable about lamps. Another shotgun from Kaunzin.
Remember, they had Bucky.
Udah gila.
Les is upgraded. He's got a Phantom now.
The big difference, no pit though.
Yeah. There was so much value in that ult. You just don't have that resource to you. Angel on the flank. Once again, a situation where Loud are surrounded.
Lagi main apa tuh man?
Just wait for Angel.
I've seen this round before. Never mind, Aspas not going to loop back around. Find Ye on the flank.
Ron apa tuh man?
That was 2022. Huh?
Lagi tembak ayam ya? Lu tau gak sih yang game zaman dulu di PC nembak bebek?
In the pockets of Loud.
Itu tuh barusan tuh. Miss bebeknya.
Yeah, I need to see a timeout here from Loud.
Yeah.
Start addressing some of the different things that they can do. For example, remember back to that anti-eco that they started with. They got the pistol. They got 3-1-1 control of long. Instead, it's constantly Sadak trying to work up bathroom and them trying
Burung
to
nembak
short.
bebek ya? Apa sih? Bebek nembak burung.
I want to see an idea actually with this Omen ult.
Lupa lah gua.
Because it's not one that you see quite frequently on Bind, and there's definitely some ways you can weasel yourself into this. Here's the timeout that I was talking about.
And with it comes a momentary pause to collect thoughts, both for the players on the stage and for everyone else watching here and at home. And again, an opportunity to set the stakes.
Yep.
Elimination on the line for these two storied squads.
Yep. This is still group stage. You wouldn't expect it, but it's still group stage.
Bro, I thought he was gonna just alpha that thing. I thought he was just gonna neck it.
Oh, yeah, there he goes.
You had the potential to become a legend.
In terms of stakes, though, you're right. We're in the group stage of these two teams who should be fighting for a championship. One of them going to go home after this. One of them's off-season will begin early, and it's a long one. And for the Loud players in particular, 4 out of 5 of the players in the server right now, contracts are expiring. So what will it look like in the future? And especially with an early round exit, that could change everything.
Yeah.
Navi as well. It's been struggles this year. It's never looked perfect. It's been a lot of criticism. It's been a lot of cooking. Not quite figuring out how to make this roster work in terms of roles, finally giving Zipan some leash to play on, and we've swapped up this op.
Whoa.
CNET's position, instead of bathroom,
he's playing
Loud expect this. Yeah, looks like they spot it now at least.
Do they confirm that he stays though? Yeah, he does give up the space. Aspas playing on the other side of the smoke. Both duelists with
the timing there.
With an attempt at a fight, but it doesn't come true.
Sadak is the one still controlling short, while everybody else right now making sure there's no push out long, making sure CNET doesn't get cheeky with that op, but he's swapped up his position still. And Kaunzin comes all the way over just to flash for Sadak, so he can start to throw some smokes out and make it look like it's an A hit. And Trailblazer didn't spot anything down long either.
Apa yang terjadi?
Angel's on an island.
Yeah, he's by himself.
Yeah.
Sadak is doing a great job pulling these rotates.
Yep.
If Angel gets in trouble here, he's going to TP and leave the site open.
Manipulated by mind games.
Di smoke lagi. Oh, dia fake. Tapi dicek dong.
Only one not fully believing. Oh, he takes a step back, but he got hit.
Whoa!
He got the kill. Sadak was trying to flip the map. Opportunistic timing from Angel.
Anjing. Jadi dapat free kill.
They're still gonna try to get out.
Si Angel.
Try to get the spike down, but they've got the order strike they have to deal with. They've got the Seekers.
Is there going to be a flood, though?
13 seconds left.
That Molly denies the flood. They could definitely get this plant unless there's a spec.
Sumpah jadi dapat free kill dia.
No!
There's no way.
That was a millisecond.
What the fuck nih? Angel lagi cok.
Aspas holding the line. That's the first one. Snappy. Aspas on the second.
Oh, ke plan.
Drop the wall for Angel right now.
It's like they're trying to plug holes on a sinking ship by themselves. Each wall.
Wah, ada Molly.
Further and further is less.
Wah, gila coy. Seru begindang manis.
NAVI on this defensive side. I know I've said this a lot, but they have a great hold on the game right now. They just can't repeat mistakes from the last two maps. Let it slip even an inch. It's real. I mean, this. Oh no! He was ulting away.
I mean, it was a gift, bro.
That is so unlucky for Sadak.
Literally the freest kill of his life.
Baru mau TP nongol si Anjay.
The culmination of the fake. And it could have been a perfect concert. Wait, look at his possible aggression here. CNED's coming in as well. He's going to hold the long angle while Angel was considering peeking with Shao's flash.
I thought he was going to. The Trailblazer again, that one way CNED has to give the space up.
Yeah. You can play it from a lot deeper, but you also have this Aspas ult that we need to consider. It wasn't successful last time.
And it seems like they're going to try to do a bit of the same from the last time they had that ult. A pop out from Hookah. That flash, Angel's overwhelmed.
That's beautiful. He's playing in front of the wall too, so no real room for him to play other than maybe his smoke, his molly. Doesn't get that opportunity though.
No. Shao and CNED both here. Op in the hands of CNED.
Look at this reclear, Shao.
One point away from having his ult on.
Oh, flash nggak ya? Flash pick.
Not able to expect after you've already done pressure in this position. They've given up the space. Do they expect it though? That flash clear.
Wah, kaki. Busuk.
It went in between his legs. Less than Aspas pounds.
Dua orang kaki.
Every time you think that NAVI to swing this round and this game. Loud.
Stunnya juga busuk lagi.
So fast. And they're already in positions to save. Zipan, he's in spawn. There's no chance. Some damage done would be good though. The bank for NAVI, not great, but still acceptable for a couple more buys. Meanwhile, Loud, I mean, saving all of the weapons when they forced up in this in a big way.
Wih, sekarat, balik.
Nice double peek, bro.
What are you gonna do against that?
That's at the end of the round too.
Yeah.
To have that focus.
Yep.
They're ready for it. That's as the
King seru gini, Cok.
Coming up with a dynamic peak.
How does a shot miss, bro?
That is between. I mean,
that's lit. I mean,
Holy shit, dia loncat dulu lagi.
That's crazy.
The thinnest of margins separating these two squads. It really has felt like a heavyweight fight from beginning to end.
Shadows. More aggression here from Loud into bathrooms, but it's not just Sadak. It's 4 members.
You gotta be careful here. Does CNED, I mean, he has his ult.
He's just picked this up.
Zipan di atas.
Feeling some of the pressure, orbital strike online.
Yeah, we've seen him dive on that bathrooms push before, but I think he understands there's more to it than this. And also trying to rely on Zipan's elevated position with the
Itu smukanya nggak habis-habis kayak pas defend. Kok nggak buat satu di side A, satu side B udah nge-smoke kayak terus.
Angel out into that teleporter.
Wah, dia neon coy. Lah.
That could have been 2 too.
They still haven't established U-Haul control though.
Yeah, but just mauling them off. They've got them contained. Aspas gonna go for it.
Woi!
Is he aware of the second? Yeah, the pre-fire, but Sugetsu wins the duel out anyway. Les couldn't join in. They couldn't pinch him. But they maintain control. Satisfied with what they have. Les drops the pit to secure it even further. But
Angel udah gila. Boh. Sumpah jago banget ini orang anjing. Demi dah. Jago banget, Cok. Kacau, Cok. Ini orang jago. Underrated kayak gini, Cok. Gak bohong gua. Gokil, Jing.
That's twice now that it leads to a round win from Loud. Can't believe we're all tied up, man. This is just unbelievable between these two teams.
Emang jago dia.
And another timeout. This time on the side of Navi.
Gua kesemanja itu namanya, cuy.
Can you believe this is a group stage game? I swear this would have been like a lower bracket something later on in the tournament. This group is deadly. And this is its conclusion. We can finally say it is its conclusion. This is the last map, last opportunity for either of these teams to advance or go home. The last map we'll see one of these guys, I don't know who.
Mending 6 sama kalau misalnya lot yang 7, wah busuk udah attack yang Navi.
Finally have broken the economy of Navi. As we get back into this, you see the buy, a judge from Angel. 2 rifles purchased and sheriffs on the rest. Now they will allow a buy the next round, and these light buy rounds have been incredibly dangerous.
Kita lihat aja nih. Kita watch and learn aja, coy.
It's funny, I feel like we've had less thrifties than expected, even though we're seeing constantly eco round wins.
Bus, wow, lumayan sih. Di swing 3 dapat 1, Sinet. Kalau di agent normal nih, hey, they don't have smoke, guys. Terus ada yang ngomong, hey, they got Viper and Omen, bro. Ah, udah busuk, cuy. Oh, dia dengar crowd ini. Sumpah, ini dengar crowd ini.
Oh, Angel just heard them. They made footsteps there. And the Trailblazers going to confirm. He's in trouble.
Ya nggak sih? Dia langsung tiba-tiba kayak mundur gitu loh pas ada crowd. Pentot naga.
He's overwhelmed, but he's playing inside of the smoke. Remember, he still has a judge, and from that distance, nothing is dealt.
And that smoke way too obvious what's going on, especially once you hear him jump out of hookah. And now Sadak actually has this flash to secure the round. He can just flash out hookah when they run out if he wants.
He might just mow him down by himself. He's already dealt with the duelist.
They don't need it anymore.
Nope.
Gak tahu, bisa aja kalau dia misalnya sound in game yang gak terlalu gede. Kan lagi hening itu. Kan kita semua lagi hening nih. Ada kemungkinan. Yang kalau yang teriak berapa puluh ribu orang, di satu tempat venue gitu bisa aja sih. Kayak nyaru-nyaru gitu, kok ada suara nih dari luar gitu. Berarti ada something. Kan itu posisinya lagi diam. Masalahnya nonton 20 juta orang, jing. Rame.
But it has been slightly skewed in one direction. Subverting that as well.
There are 2 ops.
Yeah, exactly the same way that a Sens half ended. Remember, they bought up ops in that last round because they have weapons sitting near.
Yeah. Keep a close
eye. Itu granat kemana? Ayolah.
Has a backup judge here, which he might get to use right now.
Wah, ketahuan dia.
He's so far up. Abusing the wall that was put before him, he tries to take some space and get a kill and can't.
Yeah, stimming away.
Gila nih Angel, sumpah.
That is a classic Angel.
Barbar, Cok, mainnya.
And they've swapped the lurk to Tui's in this case. Down bathroom, he had massive success in other rounds.
Weh.
Pushed off the angle.
Tuh lihat tuh.
Les and Aspas with openers towards A. Zipan surrounded, an aid at his feet. The Molly too. The floor is lava. Got the satchel away. See Ned looking for.
Ya, 75 cuy, 75. Gimana coba menangnya nanti? Attack-nya Navi.
Still chances.
Albeit slight, but they are there. You're absolutely right.
And Tui's might get lurked on here, where he just re-lurked through. Oh,
Wait!
no, what is this?
That's gonna hurt. Is it gonna kill him? It forces
What?
a kill, but no real.
Sadak masih ngekill.
And Tui's has walked all the way through lamp, so now they should know what's going
Itu
on.
nggak mati si Les.
They're down short.
Sugetsu's been so clutch. A 1v2 clutch in a situation like this.
Susah. Dia mesti ngejar setengah kalau dia mau nge-clutch.
Halftime with the lead.
Switching sides.
It's been so close every other time. 8-4 on Pearl for Navi. And then it was tie game on Ascent, where Loud came back in a massive manner. Here, they're in control for the first time heading into the second half.
And I'm sure you guys are getting tired of us talking about him. Les has 18 kills at halftime. I mean, the guy is looking to close the series out by himself.
Wah, udah puyang. Lupa Les ini jago dari dia dulu awal-awal di load yang sama Sachi Pankada tuh. Main chambernya juga sakit lagi headhunternya. Mainnya nyantai lagi.
They pulled out a triple controller. Mimi, Valor, what did you make of it on the first half?
I thought it was actually pretty solid. They're using the one-ways to really simplify what angles they have to do with on their executes, to deal with that is. And also, when they're going for extremity control, it's really good to put these one-ways up and make it easier to gain that space.
Yeah, it's a very self-sufficient agent, the Omen, because he's allowed to one-way showers and kind of work his way slowly with his
Delaynya banyak lagi, 3 smoker.
And also towards long B, he's one-waying the octagon, so it kind of lets his teammates scoot up for free.
Kuy, like-nya tambahin kuy, tanggung tuh, 3 digit.
So that's why we see him going hookah a lot.
Ya nggak sih?
His paranoia into octagon or into sight. He has a lot of options, and I think, like I was saying earlier about the pseudo initiator, he really is that, because he's gaining space for his team, and having that paranoia to end it and get kills is very important.
And I think that's going to continue onto their defensive side now for Loud, where there are also a lot of good opportunities to take that extremity control with these one-ways. But it's going to be really interesting to see it clash with this Neon comp, because I think that's going to be a big goal of Navi as well. And I feel like there's a chance we often see this Neon pushing through, taking fights past that utility from the Omen one-ways.
And this is going to be potentially the last half of one of these teams that we see. And how
Muka lu
bad
tuh
it is
kayak tai
for
ya.
a team like Loud. They started the year wanting to innovate, finding their own identity, and they could potentially end the year on this comp. How crazy is that?
Yeah, I mean, like you just said, it's kind of coming full circle, right? Because they started the year off coming with the Harbor Viper, innovating new stuff, and now they're innovating a triple controller comp onto Bind, and we got to see if it's going to end or if it's going to keep going.
Yeah, elimination is on the line here. I can't wait to see who's going to come out on top. Let's send it back to Doug and Bala for the second half.
Thank you so much, Insu. Yeah, one half. Really, all it is, one half to decide whose year is done, who advances to playoffs, and who continues this run. Loud with the 2-round lead now on defense at double controller comp.
Cuma utility kan ngaruh juga.
On this side of things, but we'll see how it plays out.
Karena utility tuh kebantu juga, kayak Viper kenapa dipilih karena dia bisa ngedelay dan orang nabrak smoke atau wall gitu kan darahnya berkurang sebentar gitu, kan advantage kan. Emang pada ujungnya nembak juga sih.
And they're starting slow here.
Yeah, they are cautious with it.
Trying to reckon with that fact. This wall is very old. Blocks off lamps, blocks off spawn. And allows you to take some backside control from Sugetsu.
Kita lihat nih ya, delay nggak nih?
Sinet has one stun.
Oh, they've smoked so much. Oh my gosh.
How is he aware?
He was just so aggressive. But you're right, Tuis was ready.
Gila, dia bisa lihat belakang loh Tuis. Angel udah gila sumpah. Pengen pulang dia kayaknya tuh. Kenapa dia nggak ngajak temennya gitu, pick CT. Mati udah Sinet. Dicicil. Susah.
Bener-bener gokil loh si ini. Tui's is able to do all of that, stay inside of lamps. A lot of times the Brimstone has to run off so that he can make sure he stays with his smokes for the post.
Oh, dia dengar.
Gun out, fighting the entire time. Sadak covers in with that space. Gets 2 smokes down that allows them to flood into the back of sight and counteract exactly what Navi wants to achieve in that one.
Udah pusing, Dumbros.
3-round lead for Loud. They've won the last 5 rounds in a row if you go back to the previous half.
Gila, les 19 mati 5 coy.
Navi on a light buy, but we've talked about it many times this series. They're good here. They're comfortable here. They've made a whole lot of something out of nothing in situations like this before. And that was almost one. I mean, a pixel, the only difference there.
Smoke to cover from distance. They don't realize Angel is through though. Unless they go for a reclay, that's probably not going to be a factor.
Oh, the elbow gave him away initially, and that double peek from CNED was perfect.
In fact, it is a factor. You're right. That double peek so strong. Angel giving his elbow first means that he has to flick.
Kalau 3 smoke gini solusinya take control, abis itu mau nggak mau kayak di burst sih biar. Kalau main lama susah lawan 3 smoke. Wah. Kena Iko kah?
Making something out of this. Navi have gotten 2, but the hard work still left to do. 2
What?
3. Avoiding disaster. Surely what that would have been.
Wih, gimana dia masih bisa hidup bunuh 3, cok?
Navi have gotten the spike down and they've both upgraded weapons.
Itu nggak ada chance anjing dia hidup di pick 4 orang.
Spectre and a bulldog on each side. CNED healthy, Sugetsu not nearly as fortunate. That hasn't mattered in the past. Will it matter here?
Kacau begindang, coy.
Onus on Loud to reestablish control. The nade to provide some cover, and they double swing into it. Aspa saves it after Sugetsu gets it down to a 1v1. Whew.
Kacau.
You were just saying these rounds get real spicy. But what the heck was that from
Yang penting securean sih.
You thought it was whiffed? You thought it was over.
Itu udah harusnya gamenya mereka, cok.
And then he hits 3 kills.
Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4. The 5th burst is what it took.
Loki, I didn't know there was that many bursts in a bulldog.
Yeah, I don't think I did either.
Harusnya gamenya mereka itu.
Saying goes 5th time's the charm, and that was enough to get them the round.
Sampai mati 3, at least 1 mati oke lah. Itu udah nyabun dulu lagi.
Fast push down. Aspas against Sugetsu. There's nobody else to fight.
Ah, di push. Panik. Wah, gila main badannya bagus banget. Gila. Susah dibunuh, cok. Susah dibunuh, cok. Main badannya bagus banget.
Well handled by Sugetsu, who again was by himself.
And it goes from bad to worse. Les going for a reclear. And we're 20 seconds into the round, and it was basically wrapped up. His bonus attempt, out aloud, definitely hurt from that last round. Remember, only 1 player survived, so that's why they tried to go for something crazy.
Yeah.
And it could have worked. I mean, Sugetsu was isolated, but ultimately, Navi capitalized with mass. I mean, Sugetsu's been playing so well.
Yeah, he has.
Talk about singing the praises of specific players here. I honestly think everybody's stepping up. And what started as kind of a sloppy game in the beginning has turned into a really beautiful game of Valorant on Bind here.
Sugetsu 1 op lagi, Sao 1 op lagi. Angel juga 1 op.
Really draining.
Neonnya 2.
And then, man.
Abis ini kurang seru, cuy. FUT T1. Harusnya FUT di atas kertas. FUT juga jago.
Well, we get a chance to check out the skin, the Tui's.
Nggak yang kayak, aduh harus ditonton nggak? Oh ini kan udah harus nih. Manja Gaming ini. Ini partai gede, coy. Navi Loud. Hijau melawan kuning, coy. Untung kuning bukan orange. Ntar kayak
him against the world.
It's such a good angle. There's not really extra space there to move past.
No.
It's really him who has the onus to peek.
Ini kalau Navi kayak EMEA yang masuk cuma 2. Wah, 2 juga udah oke. EMEA soalnya 5 slot. Totalnya 5 yang dikirim.
Which puts Aspas in a position to opt this.
Yeah, but he has light armor on this. Or he has no armor, excuse me. It's a glass cannon. He's gonna have to satchel out. He was too aggressive. He was too bold.
Nih, harus kayak gini nih mainnya. Harus ngeras.
Pounce as they find the best target they possibly could. And CNET scaling forward. He's taken over the site. He's taken over the round.
Nyangkut, bro.
And he's far from done.
Harus kayak gini nih, main cepet. Kok nggak di-delay kalau main lama? Susah.
Where Loud desperately try to hang on to the only weapon that they have.
What do you think of this skin?
I prefer the Prelude to Chaos, but that's just me.
This is ridiculous. Counter punch after counter punch. And what looked like now Loud could have gotten up to 10.
Yeah.
On that bonus. It was a very bold play.
Oh, and now this time.
Kawanzin holding on the
Diam lu Faza, anjing. Berbangan muka lu kayak tai.
Hero rifles be so impactful. No volley. It just misses.
Just barely in the spam on the angle does not.
Tadi gue live. Tidur ya terus lu setan.
Trying to keep hope alive here is the crowd for Loud. And the thing is, NAVI have broken their
passion lah. Gara-gara lu pengen off gua.
So the staying power here
Gara-gara ada mukeh lu.
And there's some key things as well that you're looking at with CNET in that last round, for example, getting deep with that wall that we pointed out earlier. It's very unconventional. It doesn't give you that lurk access, or at least the same level of it, but it does allow you to flip that site, and that's what CNET did against Sadak backside there.
Comfort for NAVI, as you wouldn't think they're down 2 rounds, given how this half is gone. They have full rifles, they've got money for days, they have 2 ults they can work with to get to an Angel.
Ini kalau kena Iko manja sih busuk loh.
I mean, this very quickly could become an avalanche that overwhelms Loud. But NAVI concerned about what might be on the other side, are playing this a bit more precariously. A bit more cautiously, a bit more safely.
Spike drop.
A lot of control gained over towards the B side. So they're comfortable to back off.
Coba ini grup NAVI Loud ini grup bahaya jing. Isinya terlalu GGGG. Loud, NAVI, Liquid, DRX.
They're going to try to push their way out from this. They're going to try to establish some presence on the site.
Acau.
And try to get out ahead of things.
30 seconds left.
NAVI can flip the map though if they want.
Waduh.
They pause for just a moment. Sonic finding one. They've invested the orbital strike 2 to try to get another kill. CNET's ult, they've jumped everything into this. Concerned about the danger of rounds like this. And they manage it well.
And I have to say, CNET is getting very comfortable on this Neon.
Yes, he is.
They've tried it so many times on various different maps, Lotus, Bind. And now it looks good at the perfect time.
A dueling chorus of chants, cacophony.
Ini apa sih nyanyi apa sih oleh. Hah?
We need something to take up what has been quiet
NAVI gitu ya.
To go down me. No, yeah.
Oh.
Just goes down to Spike. For full money in the next. And it's down to 1, Doug. All of a sudden. The cancel bonus from NAVI. You're seeing the implications of that now.
Yep. Is it really a surprise though? And you think about the series and the way
Buset teriakannya anjing.
for us to find ourselves in this situation, Loud hanging on desperately, white knuckling as they try to hang on to this lead. And NAVI with a wild comeback. They've won the last 3. They're pushing Loud.
Aspas with his ult in this. He's posted up inside his showers.
Blinded.
And NAVI, I mean, we saw it a lot on Ascent, deathballing their way to control in this B area. Wonder Loud going to be able to respond to that. They just walked through the orb.
Oh, the flash wasn't deep enough. But comes in and
he's stuck now, though.
Utility out. Can he try to find a way?
What the fuck?
It was free. Last on the swing.
Gila. Kawan Zinchi bener-bener cuek loh sama flash tapi dapat satu loh.
Who stabilizes?
What a shutdown.
Ini jadi entry nih kayaknya si Angel.
But that was ill-advised. Molly comes through. Aspas is there in time with a nade. Everybody vulnerable.
Wah, gila.
And Les destroys them.
Who else?
He was struggling to get up to 20 in the second half. When he got
238 cok.
And then all of a sudden,
manja ya.
From who has really felt like he's turned into a leader for this team. All the talk of him doing a lot of IGL.
Anjing ada yang ngechat, gue kira error cok. Gancok kalian semuanya.
Dealing with the map vetoes, those sort of responsibilities fall on what ended up being the Champions Final MVP last year when they won and he took down that trophy.
Got so many ults that they can work with here. You just see Les using his ult right off the bat. Counting still with Seekers. Seen it with the op though.
He spotted both with that Trailblazer, both Aspas and Kalinster and Sadak.
Gila, 2 orang.
And even when there's 2 players up top, Trucks, Sugetsu wants to take the fight. That's just absurd. And Sadak has been struggling to stay alive in these early instances.
Diam lu Eki, babi.
Look at the wall they're throwing too. Less from the other side.
Yeah.
Jadi ngantuk gua. Ngeliat namanya.
Showers control has to be established here if Navi want to feel more comfortable with this.
Cek ya.
It's the same thing for Loud too, so could have gone around the corner, spotted Angel, and then all of a sudden there's a nade at your feet.
Yeah. They're going to try to hang on. Angel's timing on this is going to be everything. Attack side pit used. And the Seekers to counter, but there's really nothing that they can do to pounce behind this.
Oh, what are those things doing?
Wah, ini Aspas bisa bunuh nih.
There's help from Kawanzin, yeah, sure. There's help from Tui, sure, and that's the biggest one.
Sugetsu's way close here.
Angel dealt with. The pit could be everything, and snap from Sugetsu is clean.
If he fell there, that round opens up for Loud.
I mean, it very well still may. They're down in numbers, though, and Tui's is weak. Less repositioning and joining in on the fun. The flash is there. You see some of the spam through the pit.
Dropped the pit?
They dropped it.
Wasn't covering the spike.
They want to take the fight straight up. And that seems to have been the best possible decision. Unlock Zipan to get to. Tui's falls. Navi get another.
Gila. 9-10 coy.
Brief moment for Loud to hang on to this lead, but it's back within 1.
Ini Viper dua tim sih gacor ya.
Of course it is. And again, this pick from Sugetsu onto Sadak is just crazy to me, given the fact that we had Aspas up top there as well, but the Trailblazers spotted both, so they
gimana ya, mau gimana? Ada batasan umur.
Could have been a cool play, but
udah.
There you go. Oh, aggression again.
Gokil.
Every time this early bathroom fight happens, it feels like it favors the attacker. You saw Loud run a very similar play.
And again, it was when the buy was light.
Yep.
It's just pistols. Navi just seems so ready for that attempt at surprise.
And they've swapped up the wall here from Sugetsu too, so lurk ability much easier to achieve here. Orb positioned as well.
Beli Asteris. Nggak tahu lah. Gue swag gini cuy.
I mean, I think a lot of it comes down to the economy though. I mean, how many times have we seen them hold on to scraps?
Yeah. I mean, sometimes scraps is all you need though.
The stun, the little damage done with the spam.
Gila. Jadi kena stun dia jadi ke slow. Kena percikan granat. Aduh, 10 sama dong.
I mean, Navi are putting themselves in a position now where they're going to be tied up at 10.
Aduh, 10 sama coy.
Yep. And they're starting to really cycle these ults up as well. Whereas Loud in some of these instances, it looks like the goal is some of these orb controls. Either way. CNET's hunting from the backside here. not that important to get this kill, but
Mati amat cenet nih.
don't want to give him anything.
Yeah, when you think about ults being cycled for NAVI, any sort of advantage, especially when Loud's on
Lihat.
Knife here? Give me a knife.
is what matters.
Tuh.
No knife,
Tuh.
but the 10th for NAVI.
Tiba-tiba lihat belakang tuh.
And again, I have to go back.
Oh.
NAVI have done
Pasti ada efek-efeknya, Cok.
I mean, they've taken all the momentum out of the game.
Ngapain coba dia tiba-tiba lihat belakang?
They're out of the arena.
Yep.
Pasti kok nggak dia yang sadar, kok nggak temennya.
And with that comes a timeout for Loud.
Soalnya awalnya hening.
We'll take a look in just a moment. I'm pretty sure that's the last one they have.
Yep. Navi with one more too.
Kalau nggak hening mah beda
It is the
cerita.
last one for Loud. And there's letting this lead slip that they, I mean, again, they won that first half.
For the first time all series, mind you.
And then they win the pistol, they win the anti-eco. It's not clean.
Oh.
Free fall.
Minion, NAVI Nation.
Just one round outside of those. And Navi has been stomping on this attack.
Iya memang kedap.
These timeouts are when the thought
Mau sekedap apapun, kalau yang teriak 20.000 orang, pasti bocor.
But within that too comes the doubt.
Kalau lagi hening di dalam satu tempat yang ketutup.
Are they closers?
Kecuali lu kayak stadion bola.
Or is it Navi?
Kamu tahu dari mana? Lah, gue udah pernah ke venue-nya, kocak.
Let go of the pressure. Let go of that thought that they might be the
Ini
ones
Rizky
going
Akmal
on
lama-lama
in
gue
Group D.
TO anjing seumur hidup ya.
Echoes of Tokyo.
Berbobot.
Away for them. And instead, chants from the shrine. And thoughts of playoffs.
Kerjaannya
instead.
nggak ada anjing yang dikerjain. Babi.
The judge for Sadak. All rifles, all for Zipan as well.
Memantau live chat kagak.
Navi happy to give some of that away.
Ngebantuin stream ada bet-bet gini juga kagak. AFK aja kerja lu ya.
And tension just mounts and mounts.
Pam.
No challenge down bathroom, no challenge.
Kalau TA beda, TA kan kebuka banyak orang. Gak semuanya yang ngerti nonton. Pling. Gak ada anjir.
Worried about peeking, worried about getting early information. They're giving it up and playing for retake.
Chicken Smacket baru saja mengirimkan dukungan 30.000.
Woi.
Halo BG Nada Jeffrey Nicole.
Oh, fuck Jeffrey Nicole. Oh, gila gacor. Thank you Bang Parapen. Halo.
He ulted into the smoke.
With the judge. Les still trying to hold him back as Les gets two.
What the fuck?
Sadak with another. Upgraded weapon success found. Shao left alone.
What the fuck? Rata anjing.
And it's just genius for the mastermind of Brazil. Sadak ults into the smoke past CNET. CNET realizes what happened, and he gets one pumped in the face. Jeez, man.
Gokil anjir. Sumpah si Les sih gokil loh.
I swear, Fraud is doing
27 kill
more
coy.
from backstage in the coach's booth than the players are on stage to hype up the crowd. Realizing the situation at
Gila
hand,
ini
they're
gacor
full
sih.
focused on the game right now.
Wah, kesel gitu. Dia mau li kiri, mau cari info, ditutup pakai smoke, dinaikin lagi.
Feels like Sugetsu firing through that smoke. They're desperate to just find something. I think Sadak's going to play with the judge the rest of the game here, guys.
He found so much success with it previously, sure. You think about how money's handled too, it allows him a little bit more room to be able to buy for his teammates.
Well, just think about how many smokes are on the map on this defense.
Yeah, exactly. It's actually really smart.
And how frustrating it could be to face a judge.
But I think on the other side, we have to consider that NAVI have handled that so well up until this point.
Yeah. Most of the time choosing the right site, so if he doesn't have that tool to TP back into the front. Ooh, Kalanzine.
Taking a little damage.
Very risky to just run up jump spot like that.
Ketahuan ada neon.
It seems like they're expecting
TP. Ketahuan dia bakal mau ke B. Gila molinya. Sinet pusing. Belakangnya juga pusing. Sinetnya aja pusing, apalagi belakangnya. Wih, itu double damage, Jing. Wah, jebol.
And there's not even a gun here for Sadak to pick up through the TP because they weren't challenging this space. Again, playing for delay. Really look to Aspas here.
CNET spotted, no utility to help clear him out. The flash as he gets across, CNET staying alive. Sadak wanting to make a play. Remember, he's got a judge, he's got smoke at his feet. He can
Wow! What the fuck?
Angel repositioned.
What? Plannya tengah.
It's only CNET.
Wah! 2 lawan 4 anjing. Wah, gila.
Loud series point.
Perkara orang dalam smoke nembak. Dibalas tembak.
For Sadak. And it's all him. All Loud, all day here. How does he manage to do that? Angel saw his foot and then got led to the face. Just crazy how clutch this guy is right now.
Dumbros sudah emosi, Cok. Dumbros emosi.
And they got a transition from screaming to strategy, to calm, to focus on what they're about to do.
Gila bisa kalah, Cok, begitu.
That one, after
Emang
being the
gila.
first to be threatened with elimination, to now move forward here and move on to playoffs.
But Bala, this is often the most difficult one to hit. When you think about it, you know, I've alluded to it a little bit, but it feels like two fighters who have gone now 15 rounds.
Iya, coach kembar pulang bareng. Nyampe rumah bareng, Cok.
Whatever's left in the tank to deliver a knockout blow. And Loud find themselves with a slight advantage. And it all comes down to what's left there. What's left in the tank. Is there enough juice to pull this off? To put NAVI away?
Pakai uang begal itu.
Think about how questions abounded. Doubts on their performance, on their form. Questions about the future for Loud. Who will stay? Who will go? All of that weighing heavy.
Gak ngaruh tuh. Siapa tuh? Luis buang smoke situ. Terus ada lagi smoke di short. Terus ada smoke lagi di bilong. Semua choke point. Choke point bilong, short. Di smoke anjir. Bocil Navi mana cuy? Ketar-ketir ya?
To becoming champions to now here. And there's no
sarapan apa nih? Tadi udah makan. Bang Parapen. Ini last game gua. Gak nonton FUT T1. Gak seru. Agak seru Bang Parapen. Ini gua watch party karena tahu match ini seru.
Can delay if he wants.
Kalau Lot menang ya lanjut game 3 kan? Kan lanjut game 3. Masa Lot menang game 3 yang nggak lanjut? Keren kamu Bang tahu match ini bakalan seru. Orang awam juga ngerti. Ini game champion, tau gak lu? NAVI udah berapa kali lolos Master, champion, udah pernah juara. Apalagi lo udah juara champion berapa kali. Orang tolol mana nggak tahu. Ini game seru. Bang kalau banyakkan ngocok tuh. Kayak lu anjing dongo. Taknya nggak nyampe bangsat. Iya kan game 3. Tadi game 2 maksudnya. Pas game 2 Lot menang. Lanjut. Aduh. Pusing dah, pusing.
Fast bathroom control too. You need Aspas to stay here. You need him to maintain control. Otherwise, that pick gets pinched.
Na 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 na
With that, Les is
na.
likely dealt with. I mean, if you're Navi here, you just want to draw out some of those ults, right? Get them out so you don't have to deal with them later.
That Boombot broken by Cowanzine there, so
Bingung gua.
next position still unknown. But they're backing off anyways.
Siapa yang ngeladeninnya?
This opportunity to go for this pinch. And Aspas has a big shutdown in that ult.
Kok bisa hidup orang begini ya?
So they're going to re-aggress Navi are and pull out and take the space. Aspas, Trigger aching for the touch, and it's just a bit
Aduh,
off.
OT kah ini?
He's going to go forward. Oh, he gets seen.
They're pivoting back to B.
Sadak with the judge and the second
Wah,
kill
gila
for him.
ngeselin.
Is he going to try to ult out? Yeah, he's going to safety. He's going to elbow.
Wah, gila.
The cancel.
Sadak with
GG, GG.
the savior for Loud.
Bye bye Nabi.
Challenge to get to with so much to do and all they can do.
Gila, 5 detik mah ini udah pasti maju ini. Majuin aja udah Bang Badan. Bunuh yang plan. Mau ngapain? Gokil.
The rumble in the jungle, the slugfest in the shrine goes the way of Loud.
GG Loud. Berarti Loud ketemu siapa ya?
And the season ends for Navi.
Loud tuh grup apa sih?
Loud continue on the playoffs. But the conclusion of the group of death ends on a sad, sour note for Navi.
Wah,
who had a
lesu.
promising
Udah cuci muka loh padahal. Lesu manja, Cin.
championship early on in the year, but it ends with a bow and an exit from the group of death. What a match.
Aduh, nggak kelihatan lagi ini ya. Kalau ADBC berarti ya Paparas ketemu Loud.
Greet the fans, the crowd is victors. After one hell of a fight,
Nggak tahu sih
both teams push to their
ADBC.
absolute max. And a freaking gift for everyone watching. I mean, that series delivered.
That was awesome.
Oh, what do you even say? I mean, the Loud, again, the questions abounded for them. Will they return to form? Who is this Loud squad that we knew
Gokil,
that we
cuy.
were expecting? Where have they gone? And on the other side,
Udah cuy, gua cabut ya. Thank you buat kalian yang sudah nemenin, oke? Cabut dulu cuy, pamit dulu, oke? See you next stream, bye-bye. Capek gua ngeladenin orang tolol. Banyak orang tolol, anjing.